Hello, Orville Nation. How are you guys doing? Good to see you, all of you. Hello, Trey. Hello, Mando. Hello, Elihu. Hello, Fortean. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us, guys. How is everybody doing tonight? And of course, hello, everybody. Of course, thanks for joining us, guys. How is everybody doing tonight? How many streams I set up? Of course, hello, everybody. Of course, thanks for joining us, guys. How is everybody doing tonight? How many streams I set up? Of course, hello, everybody. Of course, thanks for joining us, guys. I always do this to myself. How is everybody doing tonight? How many streams I set up? And now I can't find which one is open. I always do this to myself. How many streams I set up? And now I can't find which one is open. I always do this to myself. How many streams I set up? Okay, I think we're good. All right, guys. How are you doing? That was intense. I know, right? Sounds like the evil AI from Star Trek. Yes, Steven. Damn. Hey, LJ. Holy monkey. Yeah. I had opened up 2 windows for my stream other than the stream. So, yeah. And then I couldn't find where they were. So, how are you doing, everybody? How are you doing? I'm going to open up. I'm going to set the. So I invited a few people, but I am opening up to. So nobody's here yet. So I'm just going to open up the panel to whoever wants to join. I'm going to wait a few minutes to see if some of the people who are invited show. And if not, because it was kind of a last minute thing. I know other people are on other streams. I think Bird is streaming, and my ears are bleeding. Hello, Baby Yoda. Nice to see you here. Oh, okay. Wait, Baby Yoda from the Mandalorian show. Wow. Is that our friend? I don't know. So, hello, Jonathan Myers. Hello, Loki. It's your time for you. Okay. So I just wanted to open up the conversation today about what's been going on CBS. And the other night, I do watch kind of the MacGyver, because it's not Richard Dean Anderson, but I find it mildly entertaining, just pass the time. And they had a character. They had a character who was his name was Jack, and it was MacGyver's like buddy for everything, but he left the series for personal reasons, and so been missing him. But so all of a sudden we see that we got 7 of 9. And we say 7 because she's most known to be 7 of 9. And we got 7 of 9 here being is introduced as hello. If you guys, I sent a few. By the way, I sent a few invitations. I did send one to Loki, and so if anybody if anybody that got an invitation wants to come on, and then I'll send out a few more if those people don't want to come on. HFB, Jaloja. So now we kind of see. So Jerry Ryan it's pretty evident that Jerry Ryan got to be in Picard with some kind of multi show deal where she's also introduced to the MacGyver universe, and it's funny because the show that she is on, the show that she is on, the MacGyver show, is like she has this diabolical plot to like get rid of a whole bunch, like just to like get rid of a lot of the human population on the planet. So she has like a really diabolical scheme to unpopulate the planet. It's funny because of this thing we're going through now, this pandemic. So hello, Adega. So yeah, it's not unusual. Stephen says it's not unusual for actors and actresses to be in multiple series these days for the networks. Yeah, and actually, that's a very old school thing. Like if you were an actor for a studio, they would use you for all kinds of things. So yeah, absolutely, it's not unusual. But I was watching again today. I was watching the Egypt death, and I was going back to watch it, and it's not, I think it's even worse now because I'm trying to look at it. I'm going back to it. I know it's there, but where you're watching it, it's like it's even worse now to watch it now. The Egypt death. It's just not Star Trek. So every evil these days trying to wipe out the past. I know, right? For the greater good. Yeah. How about just us developing, and evolving in a way where we can all live in harmony. So yeah, we don't have to get rid of, quarter of the population or half the population. Geez. So anyway, yeah. I am putting the StreamYards link. I'm putting the link in the chat for anybody who wants to join. So I'm just doing an open discussion today. Anybody who wants to join. So now I gotta say, Jerry Ryan, she looks great. She looks great for her, for her age. I mean, she's not old, but she looks great. She looks pretty much the same. We've always seen her, and she plays the role very well. She's a good bad guy. She's a good bad guy. A bad girl. She's a good bad girl, and it's amusing. It seems to me like she's going to be a recurring character, just every once in a while, from what it seems. So now she has a very prominent role in the MacGyver universe. So she's basically his mom's sister. She's MacGyver's mom's sister. To me, killing Egypt and what they did is 7 and 9 kind of ruins Voyager series. I know, right? Like people were complaining that people were complaining about them ruining TNG, and what about ruining Voyager? Oh, I know, Adega. Adega's you've been everywhere. I've seen you everywhere, like today and yesterday, I think. Yeah, no worries, my friend. I didn't ask you that for that same reason, because I had seen you on so many streams. That's why I didn't ask you. Hey, awesome. Sure, Mando. Most welcome. No toes, no toes. We're just open. Whoever's here. I know, like you. I wish too many people on Wi-Fi in the building. I know. Yeah. One day we're gonna get Elihu a good connection. It's gonna get Elihu back on here. So basically, 7 of 9 is 7 of 9. Jerry Ryan is basically his aunt. She's a sister of the mother. The mother and the father, MacGyver's mom and dad, were basically spies. Were like involved in on all kinds of crazy deep like conspiracy things. And I guess like they were working, like the mother was working on a similar project, but like a possible diabolical scheme for the greater good. And but I guess MacGyver's mom didn't really want that to happen. So it's interesting though, because it seems like, and this is a spoiler, so if anybody doesn't want to hear this, then turn off the stream. But if basically MacGyver's dad dies in this episode, and so his only living family member now is his evil aunt, which is interesting. So we'll see where that goes. Does anybody raise your hand here if does anybody watch this show? I feel like I'm the only one who watches it, to me, from like everybody we talk to. If anybody watches it, raise your hand. Yeah, she looks like a fun villain that should be on an episode of The Orville. Yeah, maybe she should be. Hey, Seth is recruiting all kinds of people, right? Why not? Maybe be interesting if she was like a Kaylon human hybrid or something. Nano Reaper watches it. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's nowhere as good, Nano Reaper. It's nowhere near as good as the real MacGyver. Yeah. I find it sufficiently entertaining to watch, but I agree. Do you feel you miss his sidekick Jack, Nano Reaper? Chuck. Okay. What was Chuck? I don't think I know what that is. Chuck. Sparked? Really? I did not know that, Jeff B. How so? An evil admiral on the Orville. That's a great idea, Stephen. I mean, sorry, Mendo. That's a great idea. I know, right? Nano Reaper Jack was my favorite too. He was great. But I guess I think he left to like spend more time with his family or something, because he's a good actor. He was a lot of fun. And they had that little really fun dynamic there. Yeah, I'm getting used to her. Dez is his new. Basically, there's his sidekick. Well, his sidekick. Yeah, his sidekick is kind of like responsible max security of MacGyver security, or safety. And yeah, Des is yeah. I'm getting used to her. She's growing on me. Who would be pissed at being MacGyver on the Orville? Like MacGyver type person on the Orville. I don't know. Maybe John Lamar could grow into that, but because he's very smart, but he's personalities doesn't really fit. Oh, her husband ran against him. Oh, that sounds familiar. Oh, that sounds familiar. Okay. Yeah, Nano Reaper. They had that buddy cop duo. That yeah. Oh, Steven says Yaphet. I say Yaphet. Actually, yeah. Yes. Yeah, Steven. I see that. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so she where is the picture? I mean, she looks great in the role. She's kind of like a playful evil aunt who hasn't seen MacGyver like forever. Like I think he didn't even know of her existence. But yeah. Now, so Mike, what do you guys think about this? I think that Jerry Ryan. I would assume that. Do you guys think they had to offer her a lot? Oh, this is a question. Do you guys think they had to offer her a lot to come work on Picard? I mean, she really. I don't know I don't know how busy she was lately, but do you guys feel that that they had to offer her a lot, like being on other CBS shows? Have a female. It might have a female character. That's funny. Baby Yoda. Hey, Captain Robert. I think this is really that's an interesting, Captain. So you think this is an indicator that Picard is not coming back for a second? Really? Do you want to? That's a very interesting comment. Do you want to? Can you elaborate on that, Captain? All right, Lahi. No worries, buddy. See ya. Thanks for hanging in there, Lahi. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, nowhere as near as much they had to offer Patrick Stewart, for sure. Hello, Ted Joe. Good vibes. Hello. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Joe, for joining us. I think if he was smart, they should had a Figueroa. What are they called? What is it called? Figueroa Ranger? Is that what they're called? I forget. I think if he was smart, they should have had a Figueroa Ranger spinoff. Oh, yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, Steven. Who knows? So Captain Robert, can you Can you add to that opinion that you think this might be an indicator that she's not coming back? That's very interesting. That's a very interesting conclusion. That Picard is not coming back for a second season. The only Trek alum that's been working that I know is Frakes. He's directing. You haven't seen. Yeah, you really haven't seen the others working a lot. That's true. That's true, Ms. Rondo. MacGyver shoots in Georgia. The schedule conflict between the shows would be a lot harder to overcome if both shows were in LA. But so okay, that's a lot. Actually, that's a very logical thing to say. That's a good point. The thing is, though, I don't like. She's not gonna be there all the time. Like she'll be like. It seems like they're gonna have her be like maybe once or twice a season, something like that. Maybe 3 times. It feels like that. Who knows? That's a good point, though. Fenris. Oh, okay. Fenris. Yeah, that's it. Fenris Rangers. Oh, okay. Wow. What's the origin of the word, Mando? What is the origin of the word? The word is the bird. Oh, I don't have it on this computer. The bird is the word. I have from Family Guy, but she's a recurring supporting character in both. Yeah, that's true. She's a recurring supporting character in both. That's right. She's not a lead character. Well, see, Nano Reaper. I was under I was kind of under the impression, kind of at the end, the way it finished, that that this was now going to be Picard's crew, his gang, and you're absolutely right, but I was thinking that Viking Wolf God, okay, Fenris, okay. I was thinking that this is going to be their gang, their crew, their gang. So Captain Robert April, what I read is a season-long story arc for her. Okay. Okay, for season 2. Okay. All right. Wow. Very interesting. Very interesting, guys. Wow. Very, very interesting. All righty. So let me just do one thing here. I just want to. All right. So how many of you guys who thinks here we're going to have a season 2 of Picard? Who thinks we're going to have a season 2 of Picard? The Viking Wolf God. We're not going to remember that. I'm not going to forget that. The Viking Wolf God. All righty. So I was watching today. Norse mythology finishes the son of Loki. Where it's from the word. Oh, okay. Now it rings a bell. Okay, well, let's spell that. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, see, that's what it seemed to me. It looked like it was she's going to be more regular. I think LJ says, I think we'll have a season 2, but it's one giant money grab at this point. It is, right? It is. Maybe in 2022. Oh, because of what's going on, you're saying. I thought they started shooting. Good night, Joe. Good night. Luis says yes. I think we will. Yeah, I thought they renewed for something like that. That sounds right, Nano Reaper. Yeah. Yeah, it's like she's gonna have a lot of free time. Yeah. Yeah, because she's gonna be the go-to. She's gonna be the go-to bad person for like for maybe a couple episodes a season. You doubt CBS could do a season 2. That's interesting, Adega. You're right, actually. Who are they going to get to fund it? And they're probably not going to fund it themselves. So Steven says there's no way they're not going to do a second season. Yeah, like they just did the impossible to get Discovery season 3 out, even though Discovery season 3 is going to be, well, who knows? But we haven't seen it yet. But yeah, Discovery is a train wreck of a show, unfortunately. And they put out a third season of that because just for everyone's on lockdown. I thought they started shooting season 2 though. I thought they began shooting season 2 of Picard. When is Discovery season 3 of Discovery? Hold on, I forget. When is the season 3 of Discovery? Gosh. Does anybody know when Star Trek Discovery season 3 is coming out? When is it supposed to? They haven't said, right? October? Is that it? Yeah. It's the financial trouble right now. That rumor about possibly selling off Star Trek might be coming true soon. Wouldn't that be amazing? Maybe that's what's need. That's what need to happen. That's what needs to happen. Has not begun shooting, says Mando. Okay. Yeah, maybe Seth and NBC Universal buying Star Trek is not such a crazy idea. Now maybe it was all BS before, but maybe now it's not. Maybe I think everything's on the table. Joe asks a question I always wanted to ask: what was the best Spock from the series or the movie? That's a good question. What do you guys think? What was the best Spock? What was the best Spock? Now, Joe, when you say the movies and the series, you mean Leonard Nimoy, was he better in the series or in the movies, or all the Spocks together? All the Spocks together, or are we just talking Leonard Nimoy? And see what the see what everybody in the chat says. All they've said about Discovery season 3 is soon. Yeah, I just read something about October, but a lot of people were saying they're just going to wait to see when the Orville wants to premiere, and they'll try to match it, which is about as dumb as an idea as you could come up with. Steven says movies. Leonard Nimoy not including that bastardized version in the JJ Trek. Yeah. At least Zachary Quinto. I agree. Yeah, at least Zachary Quinto. I don't know. He was much more on par than, unfortunately, Gregory Peck's grandson. Ben Bird, hello. TOS Spock is my favorite. I know TOS Spock is really it's really special. Yeah, Leonard. Leonard is definitely the best Spock. He's the only real Spock. Yeah, but you know what? At some point, we're going to have to, in order to move forward. Thank you, Joe, for asking that question. Thank you, Joe. At some point, we're going to have somebody else. We're going to have to accept somebody is playing Spock. Unfortunately, the problem with the JJ, the problem with the JJ people, I'm sorry, the JJ cast is that they're like, you would never get them on a TV series because they're too. It's beneath them. So whoever you're going to hire has got to be good, and they can't come up with that bullshit about I'm not going to do a TV series because I'm a movie star. Anson Mount, you need somebody like Anson Mount's caliber and his his ability to go ahead and be also in on television. Okay, April and May. Oh, yeah, that's not going to happen though. April's not going to happen. Yeah, if they follow the schedule. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Lundell. Yes, Mr. Lundell. By the way, guys, this is an open stream. I'm putting up the open discussion. So anybody who wants to jump in, I'm putting it in the. I'm putting in the invite in the chat. I'm quoting Spock. Oh yeah, Spock in the JJ film. Spock wasn't a JJ film. Yeah. Oh, you're saying that Nimoy in the JJ films wasn't Spock either. That's interesting. I've read a lot of novels in the past. I don't know about novels that are coming out now. The ones I read were not him as an ambassador, though. The ones I read were not him as an ambassador. Hey, Troy and Nanette, how are you guys? I know. The best Spock was his appearance on The Big Bang Theory where Penny gets Sheldon a napkin and he signed. I know, that was not great. That was funny. That was funny, LJ. That was hysterical. The story was good and the acting was good, but didn't want any more reboots. I know. Reboots, no. Reboots, no. No. Enough reboots. Just fit yourself into canon somewhere in canon, fit yourself and do it appropriately and respectfully. Yeah. I agree. We do need new and different characters. Why not just create a, guys, this is an open stream. Oh, Captain Robert. No way. I've been waiting to talk to Captain Robert. Captain Robert, hello.
Hold on. Hang on, he's just getting the soda. Okay. I knew the second I got up, that's when
Hello, my friend. How are you?
All right.
Oh, we finally got you on. How you doing?
Yeah, it took a while, but yeah. Yeah.
Good to hear you. How are you guys?
Oh, getting there, I think.
Yeah. Where are you guys? What state?
We are currently in the Super 8 Motel on Kipling and Wheat Ridge right now. So it's like,
Thankfully, it has pretty good Wi-Fi. So it's kind of the middle ground between Motel 6 and La Quinta. So.
Oh yeah, it is pretty good.
On that score, yeah.
How are you guys holding up?
Well, fine. It snowed pretty good. It's kind of fluffy stuff, so it'll melt off pretty quick. But it's pretty cold today.
Oh wow, snow! You guys got snow, huh? Oh,
well,
wow.
it's Colorado. Yeah.
And we also have my first visit with my new primary.
Yeah, we did a online video chat with our new doctor up here. So.
Oh wow. Okay. I hope everything is progressing positively, and I saw your stream yesterday. That was a good stream, Captain. That was a great stream.
You had to throw something together. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man,
I also figured. Now, look, Doomcock does show tunes. I mean, Mecca breaks up the guitar. I thought I'll drag out some old videos nobody's bothered to watch in a while. So,
I really enjoy your streams, Robert. I really do. I always have. So it's an honor to have you here. Mr. Lundell is coming in.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Hello, Mr. Lundell. You know Captain Robert, I think.
Yeah.
At least verification.
So, did you guys by any chance watch? You haven't seen this episode, right? Or you guys don't watch MacGyver?
Wife does, but I don't think this is aired yet. This is coming up. I think they shoot in Georgia, so they're
Okay.
But I think this looks like maybe rehearsal footage. Yeah.
So I saw this like 2 nights ago.
Okay.
And I think it is the most recent. It is the most recent episode they've aired. So it is interesting that she wants to like destroy the world, but let me bring in Mando. Hello, Mando.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, it's a pleasure to have you on. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Wow, it's great. I don't think I've had any of you on before, so that's awesome. That's really awesome, guys. I'm excited.
All right.
Mando, have you seen this MacGyver episode?
No, I haven't watched the new one. I've only seen the original.
Steph, have you watched this new one?
Not lately. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get CBS All Access to work on your computer,
Or just fire up this stupid computer.
So now it's interesting. Robert was saying that you think. Can you want to walk us through that? What you're thinking, Robert? You're thinking that
basically, if they were seriously looking at Picard for a second season, then that means that Jerry Ryan would kind of be tied up for a good cut. She's on the bridge with everybody else. I think that makes her pretty much a de facto regular at that point. And the fact that they're not just shooting across town, like where she can, do her bits for Picard in the morning and, jet over to, like what the other studio and do her stuff for MacGyver in the evening. No, she's going cross country because MacGyver shoots in Georgia and Picard was shooting in L.A. in Anaheim or Burbank right there. So any kind of conflict right there, it's like, that's it. She's doing one or the other. And MacGyver is on surer ground as far as, being, sticking around for a while.
Oh, wow. Are you guys reading this? I did not know this. MacGyver showrunner is new Picard showrunner, Terry Matalas. I did not know that.
I didn't know either, but the real question is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I know, right?
Most definitely. I mean, is there going to be a Picard show? First of all, I don't care what kind of numbers they throw at me. I don't think that many people watched that train wreck.
How?
If they did, maybe episode 1, 2, or 3, and then it started to slowly drain off.
Yeah, he could just be managing the shutdown of the whole thing, too.
Also, you have to remember that the episode 1 numbers are probably really inflated because they had that first episode on YouTube for free. I watched it for free on YouTube, so...
Oh, yeah, plus they ran it on Pluto for free as well.
Well,
So,
the only...
how would that...
Yeah. The best numbers we got indicate, a lot of people tuned for the first one, but they dropped off quick for everything afterward.
I have a feeling that there's gonna be a season 2 of Picard, just for, even if it's just for spite, to like they're doing with Star Trek Discovery, just to prove a point.
Yeah, it'd be like, see, these fans were wrong. We can make another season.
But
I know,
the only
right?
thing Spike will get them is into bankruptcy court at this point.
Yeah, as Viacom CBS is in deep financial trouble. You watch the latest Midnight's Edge thing; they're seriously have to start looking at selling off assets, and that includes Star Trek.
Yeah.
Well, you can also kind of see what's going to happen if they do another season. Just look to the comic book industry. Like, you'll know what's going to happen. They're going to continue making another season of this stuff, and it's going to go horribly, and it's going to kill them. And people are just going to be like, we don't want this, and they're going to keep making it, and then it's going to put them under.
This is an interesting comment. Star Trek Nitpicker says Matalis is a huge Next Gen fan. That's interesting. I mean, I would say it's the first like serious Star Trek fan we've had at the helm. For who knows? That's it. But I mean, of course, Kurtzman's still behind everything. But
that's the fly in the ointment right there. Isn't it?
And from what I hear, it's whatever he says goes. So.
What's his face was supposed to be Trekkie, the guy that was running.
Shaban, Michael Shaban.
Yeah, he was supposed to. Yeah, he was supposed to have been a Trekkie.
Yeah,
they were supposed to have a Trekkie.
Okay.
They were supposed to have Trekkies in the STD writers' room to make sure everything lines up with canon. Okay, don't.
Oh, they're there, but they're being ignored.
This, just stop it with who's a Trekkie, who's not a Trekkie. Learn how to write. That's what I want these guys to do. Learn how to write. Learn how to tell a story. Give me a reason not to give a damn whether or not Michael Burnham gets her leg blown off. Okay, come on. That's what we're looking for. We put up with the crap all day at work. We come home, just want to be entertained. They can't entertain us.
Yeah, Mr. Lundell. What do you guys think about Nano Reaper's comment? Is it definitely been done? Has that been definitely earmarked for bailout?
I think that may have been some of the tech in order to get it into production in the first place. It could be just recycling old stuff. But Gary Beekler, Nerdrotic, he encountered Michael Chabon at a con years ago. And he was at the table next to him, and they talked for a while, and there was no indication he gave a rat's ass about Star Trek. There was no memorabilia, nothing he'd picked up around the con or anything, so, and then it never came up a conversation.
You said Chabon, you said?
Yeah, with Michael Chabon, and it's like, he gave no vibe whatsoever. This guy knew shit for Shinola about Star Trek, or gave a rat's ass about it whatsoever.
That explains why they have similar beards.
Mm-hmm. There's also indications that Chabon has been helped very much by his editors and his literary success. Otherwise, the guy has trouble putting together a coherent sentence.
Oh, really?
So much for the Pulitzer Prize.
Well, all these prizes mean nothing these days anyway.
Yeah, Gary's met. He doesn't always like rehash it, but he like if you've been listening to a while, he's met a lot of people. Just from his comic book store, and he's met a lot of people, and he's working in the film industry a little bit. I didn't hear that he had met Chabon.
Yeah, he's brought up a few times on his chat. Yeah.
But then it's that article that was out a couple weeks ago. He's kind of proud of the fact that he's ticked off half of the fandom, which I don't get, because that's half of your money, you idiot.
Yeah, and at this time, it's like when fandom is fractured left and right. Now is not the time to piss off half of what you got left.
Yeah, I mean,
I gotta say,
tell them that subverting expectation is not something you do every single episode, every 15 minutes of that episode. You throw it out there once or twice every other season just to keep people interested,
Yeah.
Well,
Your whole goal is to subvert expectations. You need to go back to writing school because you're missing the plot there. You know?
Yeah, well, this whole subverting expectations thing, they do it just because they can't write, so they use this as a kind of a cop out. A cop out. So it's like, oh, we're gonna do this, even though they can't do the other thing. They can't actually write a coherent story, so they do this to kind of, I don't know, fill in the gap.
Yeah, I gotta say, when who put I said Nano Reaper had put that up before, that had been that Picard has got earmarked for a bailout. I'm not sure we want our tax money paying for Picard.
No,
I mean, really? I mean, now we're gonna actually fund our tax money's actually gonna fund Picard.
I didn't want the tax money to go to just Hollywood in general when they asked for a bailout a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't
it
say
is. You got a
for.
point there. You know. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I can't say for Hollywood because I don't know as well, but in terms of the gaming industry, mostly the AAA gaming industry, corporations like EA and Bethesda, Activision, their executives get paid with like their bonuses are millions of dollars. They get paid billions of dollars a year. And realistically, if you want to stay afloat, you can't, especially in these hard times, you should not be doing that. Like if you're having, and they're all losing money right now. All three of those companies are losing money right now because of what's going on. And what they should be doing is just funneling all that billions of dollars being wasted on the execs to the workers and everything that they actually need to be paying, but they're not, so they're going to suffer for it.
What do you guys think about this comment? This is interesting. Metalis wrote the stories, the episodes Stratagem and Impulse 2 for Star Trek Enterprise, and he worked with Braga, who's working on Orville. If that's true, I mean, maybe this is Sherry Redstone stepping in and putting somebody in charge who cares. Who knows?
Well, the contract situation is that they were stuck with Kurtzman for at least 3 years, and realistically, I think they'd really want him completely out of the picture.
He could be sidelined just like Kathleen Kennedy's sidelined. I mean, by the way, a lot of people have been picking on Mike Zero lately about the stuff he says, but they're just jealous because there's stuff Mike Zero is saying that he's absolutely right. Kathleen Kennedy is sidelined. Anyway, I don't want to get into Star Wars, but
no, even sideline, she's gotten problems. So.
Well, she had to be sidelined because you hear good things about the Mandalorian, and that's in that universe. Evidently, somebody found a way to keep her out of that mix. So maybe Sherry is trying to find a way to keep Kurtzman and crew out of the Star Trek mix and maybe straighten it out.
Maybe.
There was a hilarious picture of in the Seventh Mandalorian, George Lucas sitting up front there with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, and way in the back is Kathleen Kennedy looking very sour.
Okay. So this was January. All right. Actually, let me put this article up. So this was. I haven't been keeping up with some of these things. This is where Star Trek Nitpicker. Thank you for bringing that up. Appreciate it. Let me just. We were so upset with what was actually going on in Picard that I did not remember this. So, Star Trek Picard renewed for season 2 with Terry Matalas as showrunner. Okay. And this is
How old is that article?
January 12th. Oh, wait.
Okay.
January 12th. January 12th, 2020.
There we go.
I'm surprised that there hasn't been more talk about this, actually. we've been talking about we've been talking about what we're seeing on screen, but we haven't really talked to it. I haven't heard the channels talking about this. In a move that surprised no one, CBS confirmed today that it has renewed Picard for a second season ahead of. Yeah, I heard about that. I didn't remember the second season showrunner Terry Matalas, who most recently was the creator showrunner of 12 Monkeys, has been named the showrunner for the second season. Matalas isn't a stranger to Star Trek either. He's paid his dues working as a production assistant for both Voyager. Oh, really? Voyager and Enterprise. That's interesting. Voyager and Enterprise. Well, I got to say that's definitely more promising than anything we've heard in the last 3 years.
True, but this would have been better to hear before season 1. I mean, before they announced season 1 showrunner. Like, if he was the showrunner for season 1, then he maybe wouldn't have 7 of 9 becoming a cybernetic murderer. He wouldn't have had Picard just being a sad old man that's useless and being dragged around by everyone else and all sorts of stuff. Also, I do want to say, Nana Reaper, yeah, Hollywood had forgotten that fans are the customers, but they also forgotten that customers is a word, because now everyone just uses the word consumer, and I hate that word so much.
It's very, if I can read this, guys, it's very rare that you spend the extended time on Earth in Star Trek. We didn't want to rush that. Like, the first 3 episodes were on Earth. And by the way, this is from Alex Kurtzman. By the way, this is where I think they were funneling money. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of instances where you can tell they're cutting corners. And I think they were funneling money to Star Trek Discovery or other projects. To be honest,
that's a report. Yeah, they had no budget for Picard because Discovery's gobbling it all up, flying to Iceland and doing all kinds of crap, and having a rewrite. So then they realized that episode 7 of Picard, what they had made no sense. So that's why you got all these inserts. So suddenly Riker and Troy showing up, and Data apparently wasn't originally supposed to be in there at all. But I didn't say, where's Riker? Where's Data? Where's Troy? So.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
And that's something. Just look for the rumors of who's interested on showing up on one of these shows. They do that to see who they can get to pay them an extra $9 a month for this crap.
What do you guys think about Amazon? Do you guys think what do you think their reaction was to season 1 of Picard? Do you think they were satisfied?
They were not.
You're saying definitely not, Captain?
They were definitely not there. They're just pissed off as Netflix as well for Discovery.
Yeah, that's the same thing I heard.
Probably the only solace is they paid less for the international rights than Netflix did. So maybe their loss isn't as big.
Yeah. Star Trek. Thanks, Star Trek nitpickers. Mentalis wrote a comic book with Brandon Braga Hive about the Borg, Picard, Data, Borg Queen, the far future. It's pretty good. It's interesting. Hey, Star Trek nitpickers, if you're, let me know if you're DM me if you're following. Let me know if you're following me on Twitter. I'd like to. Thanks for sharing that. Hello, Carlo. So that's that's really interesting. Do you guys foresee? I foresee Jerry Ryan also popping up on what is it, NCIS or one of those other shows that CBS has. What do you guys think?
Well,
if it's her career, make the money while you can, sweetheart.
And she's going to other shows too, other than Picard. I mean, I don't think Picard's coming back. Not with Jerry Ryan, at least.
That's interesting.
Maybe she'll end up on the Orville as an interesting character.
Maybe that'd be nice. I was watching again, guys, today. The Ichib death, and the more I watch it, the more upset I am because I mean, it's just so distant from. Have you guys gone back to watch it since it aired?
I haven't watched any of these things more than once, really. If I don't have to.
I've only seen clips, and other than episode 1, I've only seen clips and bits and pieces of the show. One of those clips being the Beach of Death and the whole eye gouging, but I've seen it a few times in Major Grimm's videos. He does great compilation videos of new Trek versus old Trek, and even continuity errors between the old shows. And yeah, it's pretty horrific, even if it wasn't a character you knew.
In the opening 5 minutes, they do this. The
That's
teaser.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's an opening of an episode.
But we're a family show. Come on, bring the kids. Idiot.
Yeah, Star Trek was always somewhere between G and PG, right?
No, it's not a family show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was a kid when I started watching
No,
Star Trek.
I know.
It hasn't been a family show for years.
Well, Roddenberry said it was not. It was never been a family show in that sense. It's not like it wasn't Father Knows Best, but it was something that the entire family could watch, though.
That's a correct way to put it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you had older kids, some of the plots would actually spark discussions.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Nerd Cookies. They said earlier. Go ahead, Captain. Sorry.
I mean, I was 2.5 when the original show premiered, so I was watching as a toddler with my dad. And granted, it's the 60s, so, NBC, they're not doing anything particularly out of line too much, but if they were, there's no way in hell I'd be anywhere in the room.
Yeah, my parents got me into Star Trek to begin with, and I was, I think I was 9 at the time, so...
Yeah, Stephen Klein says, as I said earlier, having the Each of Death and having 7 of 9 ruined Voyager series, knowing the outcome of these characters. That's a big, yeah. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Because a lot of people are telling me they're having trouble going back and watching TNG. It's because it's upsetting. And Stephen is saying the same thing about Voyager. Is it ruining what's already been done, guys? What do you think?
Well, let's see.
Probably to a degree.
Let me dig up something here that I'm kind of gratified that Midnight's Edge is kind of adopted whenever they got to the point. Where are we here? Come on, where's that picture? Because I'd done a graphic up around, and on a similar theme around the time they were talking about it, is the Prime and Canon are not the same thing.
Oh, you're looking for that timeline graphic?
So, yeah, that timeline, right? Because they kind of took the picture I did up on one of my videos and modified it a bit, where basically you have the Canon series, and you got the original series, and never the twain shall meet type of thing.
That's interesting, Carlo. Carlo says,
picture.
Okay, you share that. I'll put it up, Captain.
Right.
That's interesting. Carlos says that he thinks that this story was meant to span all 4 seasons. That's interesting.
There we go. Alrighty, and there we go. There we go.
Not that I'm aware of, Nerd Cookies.
Can you repeat that? Were you answering Nerd Cookies? Okay.
All right, what do we got? See how it's coming through. And fire up the tablet so I can see what's going on. There we go. So yeah, we got the original. The original timeline is up top, and we got Enterprise movies thing on, and then you got the divide with that famous 25% difference that always getting cited. And then down below, that's where you got JJ Trek and Discovery and Picard and anything else these idiots tend to dream up. And originally, the thought was now that the 25% difference is more of a legal thing. No, they can do anything they want as far as using the stuff up top, but they wouldn't get any of the merchandising stuff out of it. They wouldn't get any money. It would all go to CBS. It would all stay to CBS. They would have gotten nothing beyond their initial fee. So that's why they're kind of incentivized to do all this different stuff down there in the bottom, below the thing, so they can get a lot more money out of it.
Yeah. At least now that they've reunited the licenses. I mean, they have to honor the deals they've done in the past, but they now that's at least the licenses are not going to be an issue for the future. They shouldn't be.
Well, the way I understand it, the only reason the licenses were an issue was because of Paramount. Paramount wanted to keep the thing going. It was CBS that was like, no, in the first place.
Yeah.
It was kind of the result
I've been
of
thinking lately.
Yeah. Again, watch the Midnight Dads videos. They go into exhausting detail on that one.
Yeah. Where I was thinking, had CBS let Paramount do something with the licenses, we wouldn't have this mess. Because Paramount could make money with it. If they couldn't make money with anything else, they could make money with Trek. So, I mean, why you would deal with or try to deal with Bad Robot is beyond me in the first place. Somebody that didn't know anything.
Hey, LDG.
Yeah, basically the way it all shook out is when Sumner Redstone decided to split Viacom in two. Everything else worked out fine except for stuff like Star Trek, where you had partial it's on TV and part of it's in the movies, and everything else, and so they need to divide who got the lion's share of it all. And the way it worked is all the TV stuff went to CBS. Paramount had the rights, basically just really redistribution rights to the original movies they had put up to that point. They couldn't make anything else based on those movies or whatever, So they wanted to make new Star Trek movies, which they really wanted to do because it was a steady supply, money supply for them. They had to license it. And again, if they had just done a regular, let's say, do another next gen movie that was completely compliant with canon, they would get the box office revenue, but they would have to share it with CBS, and CBS would also get all the licensing stuff because all that licensing is tied up with CBS.
Let me just say hi to Bird. Hey, Bird.
Kapla all. Thanks for having me.
Kapla. Thanks for coming.
And so if JJ wanted to get any money out of it, that means a different enterprise, different guys playing the characters, different uniforms, and
But
guys,
it's all gone to pot for him.
Guys, I just want to ask this to everybody in the chat. There's 30 people in here, and I want to ask, raise your hand if you would buy Orville merch. If the Orville put out, started putting out merchandise, would you buy Orville merchandise?
in a heartbeat.
It's Poketapolis.
I've already got 2 seasons of DVD. I'm waiting for a model. I want that ship.
What about the rest of you on the panel?
I'd like a good ship, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd buy
I
it.
could deal
but I
with a
don't know if
couple
it'd
of
be
ball
much careful.
caps.
I've got a couple of T-shirts I got from
Ball caps, patches.
yeah, from from Think Geek.
Yeah, I've got a Seth track from
Like the
JP.
ball cap
I want to get one of
JP
those.
does. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people are saying, I think most people in here would definitely.
I'm about to pay for it.
For the pizza.
Yeah, there is a few. There is a few. Tom Costantino puts out what's being put. What is being put out. Yeah, there are some things being put out. Nerd Cookies wants one.
I'm hoping they go with action figures. They go with Mego.
Oh.
Get those 8-inch figures to go along with everybody else.
I want to. We were talking about this last week. My prediction is that Star Trek. I'm sorry, Orville is going to be. It's going to start to look almost on par with Star Trek by the end of season 3 of the Orville. That's my prediction.
I think it's already surpassed it.
Yeah,
I thought it looked pretty good
it's
already.
there, if you ask me.
Ooh, I just searched Orville ship models, and instead I got some on Etsy that you kind of have to paint yourself. But I also got some blaster replicas.
Oh, share. Please share.
All
right.
And I agree with what you said, Mr. Lundell. I think they're obviously already there. The thing is that psychologically, as a franchise, there's a lot of Trekkies who just watched a few episodes and stopped watching because they were there in their mind. They were thinking like Galaxy Quest or something. And there's a lot of Trekkies who are not on board yet.
Galaxy Quest was close to early Trek. I mean, come on, it was a parody of early Trek. So I mean, just sometimes you gotta just accept things for what they are.
There's a very good documentary. I think it's on Amazon Prime. Never Surrender, about the whole thing of making Galaxy Quest and the approach to it. And it was made from a very loving point of view. These guys are all Star Trek fans who made this thing. And they had some of the next gen cast. Brett Spiner.
Yeah, those are looking really good, Mando.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Almost. Let me get this clear the screen. Sorry. Oh, the Orville bed sheets. I want those. How much are the Orville bed sheets, Mando? I can't see.
$38.92.
My wife's gonna go for that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little Lego Orville here.
Yeah, I may have to get a couple myself.
Ooh, got uniforms too. $100 for uniform.
Did you guys see Anna, the girl we interviewed? Did you see Anna Folkenstahl's uniform? Did you guys see that? The prop maker from Switzerland.
I've got one of those hoodies on my watch list on eBay.
Here, let me show this again.
Cheaper than that though.
Yeah, she had some amazing stuff, and she made. I just want to show the prop maker from Switzerland again, Anna.
Should I stop screen sharing?
Oh no, go ahead. You can go a little further. Yeah, go a little further, Amanda. I got to bring it up. What would you guys pick? Mando, what would you pick from everything you saw in there?
I'm always down for another good blaster replica, but yeah, those are pretty cool.
So, Bird, before you got in here, we were when I started the stream talking about how actually I'm going to put this picture up, Mando. One sec. We started talking about how 7 of 9 was now MacGyver's evil aunt on MacGyver.
I was wondering what the thumbnail was about. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's now his mom's sister, and she's hell bent on destroying the world. Like, she wants to depopulate the world for the greater good. It's funny. It's like right in the middle of this pandemic, we get this episode.
Supposedly the new Bond films will be about some kind of bioweapon too, so another thing. But nope, not the right time.
As I said in the chat earlier, it's like every supervillain right now wants to wipe out half the population, and it's for the last decade or so. That's pretty much the motive or plot of every villain. It's let's wipe out half the universe, half the planet, half whatever, or just wipe out some of the population or whatever it is.
Thanos envy.
Pretty much just so that this way the Earth can, heal or whatever. Because we're the cancer on the Earth, or it's like all the same stuff. Do something new.
Yeah,
so
Ben.
MacGyver's running now.
Sorry, Bird. Go ahead. Yeah.
Is it so? MacGyver's running now. It's on air now.
Yeah, it's on now. Yeah. This is the last episode that they released. The one. So obviously they waited till Picard was done to insert. So it was all planned out. I mean, she plays the role well, but she's kind of like a playful, evil supervillain. But Captain Robert was saying that this was indicative of. You want to walk through that theory, Captain Robert?
Well, basically, because MacGyver shoots in Georgia, and if there was any kind of real serious push that we're going to go for season 2 and stick around, and then she wouldn't have taken the gig, because this is supposed to be a season-long arc going for Jerry Ryan's character. So she'll be tied up in Georgia for a while, especially if they haven't quite finished the season yet. They're going to keep going for next year with this character. Then nope.
I highly doubted she was going to be in season 2 of Picard anyway.
Really? You think so, Bert?
I don't think she's going to be in. I don't think they could afford to have her.
Well, she's right there on the bridge with everybody else, like she's ready to take the helm.
Yeah, but that was the last episode. I mean, next episode is going to start probably weeks or months later. They'll probably say, "Yeah, we dropped 7 off so she could be a ranger again," or something.
Get rid of her off screen somehow.
She needed she just needed a ride.
Yeah, they're in season 4, I think, Ben.
Yeah, 4.
They're in the 4th season, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, we've got supposedly Robert Picardo coming in season 2 and some other people. I mean, I just don't think they can afford to have two stars on the show.
Right now, I think they're just throwing out names to try and generate some interest. Because they're kind of facing the only thing that's really blown up the fandom so far is the rumors that Kurtzman was fired. That's what got everyone excited for a while. Finally, he's gone. He's gone. Ding dong, the witch is dead. No, then trying to be found. Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Bird,
just throwing those names out there, and it'll be like you saw with Troy and Riker. It'll be a couple of scenes, one episode. That'll be it. Okay?
They'll tease it all season. Episode 7.
What else,
finally you see him.
Yeah. What else are you seeing Jerry Ryan in? That's just. I mean that is what much money it's going to cost you to get an actor. What else are you seeing her in?
Take a look at her IMDb here.
Bird, Star Trek Nitpicker had been brought this up because I had just disconnected from Picard. I was not really happy with it, and I disconnected. But he was reminding us that that somebody who had worked on a couple of episodes of Enterprise is now the new showrunner.
There's a new showrunner
for Picard, Terry Matalas.
I had that skipped past me.
Yeah, because we were all so upset about what was going on screen. Yeah. Second season showrunner Terry Matalas.
Well, here's the thing: if they worked on Voyager and Enterprise,
yeah.
Well, if they last as long as the average showrunner, then they might make it through 3/4 of the season. If it's less than average, half.
If he says a naughty word, he'll be out next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Bunch of pansies.
If they stick for the season, then maybe they've got a good shot of bringing things around. Although, to be honest, I don't know how much a showrunner has power under Kurtzman to begin with.
So we were thinking here. I mean, is this a Sherry Redstone move to put somebody in sideline Kurtzman?
Well, when the accounts I'm hearing, she wants him gone. That's why they pulled the plug on Hawaii 5-0. Because that was one of his things. They'll start wheedling him out until and not approve anything he proposes. It's like, no, we're not going to do that. You're the too Star Trekky for a Star Trek show. That's just like, no, we're not doing anything you say. I don't care how it's
they pulled the plug on Hawaii 5-0?
Yeah, they had the season finale or series finale.
Oh, I didn't know.
Wrapped it up after 10 years. It's over with. Now it kind of fit the model because you're not going to see many series these days go longer than 10 seasons.
Has it been 10 seasons
it's
already?
been 10 seasons for the revived Hawaii Five-0.
Wow.
Dang.
So I don't.
Feels
But
like,
you're not going to see
wow.
one like the old Hawaii Five-0 go for 20-some seasons, because the market's not the same anymore. You can't really go with a syndication package where any station is going to pick up like 20 seasons. And now it's like home video. Nobody wants to buy 15 season sets, of one show. So
Wow.
7 to 10 seasons in a decade. That's it. That's enough.
Bird, do you think they were funneling money away from Picard to other projects?
it would make sense, but I mean, I have no way of proving it. But it would make sense looking like Picard would desperately needed money, and hearing about the overruns on Discovery. That would be tremendous fraud. It would be it's almost unbelievable to think that they would actually do it, but it would explain what we saw in season 2.
It would explain. But is it really fraud though?
And just complete lack of anything. I mean, saving money by using the same set for the vineyard on the ship, and what else did they do?
Oh my God! Yeah, on the ship. Why don't we just put
off the shelf 3D printers as replicators? I mean,
Yeah.
I found the 3D printer they used on Amazon. I think they just bought it and then they
I've seen the printers being used before. I haven't used it personally, but I've seen other people use them. Yeah, it's
yeah, but in Star Trek, we never needed a cabinet to be a replicator. It just used to replicate right in front of you.
well, wasn't that how they used replicators in TOS? It was kind of like a microwave oven.
Well, that was a food sequencer.
No.
Okay.
That was even simpler. No effect at all.
Yeah.
Just open the door. There's your food.
Right, but that's why, because
Triples all over it.
limitations.
If it was in Discovery, I would have said fine. But this is after TNG, after DS9. The replicators there were just on the tabletop. Boom, you had it. Honestly, they were like Orville replicators.
Well, there's that episode of TNG where Worf O'Brien's wedding.
Oh yeah,
Worf is getting a gift, and you see that room everyone's at. They did something similar on the Orville, where it's just a room of people replicating stuff. And unlike the normal replicators you see where they get the food, it's just a little table that's a replicator had.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's what I would expect to be in people's houses and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's based on transporter technology, so.
All right, it turns
lamps.
And those picnic tables. They were just the picnic tables spray painted black or something.
I think half the time Patrick Stewart's wearing his clothes from home. Yeah. Save on wardrobe. What are you wearing, Patrick? Come on in.
Yeah, well,
bring him on the line.
This is just the Patrick Stewart vanity project.
Mm-hmm.
But the final scene in the final episode, they did all have, if you notice, they all had on the same jacket with the little emblem in one corner. So they gave them some kind of uniform.
Stephen, I don't know exactly how the Orville budget compares to that, but if you look at the space battle in Identity Part 2 for season 2, even if they're definitely more efficient with their money. I know that. I don't know exactly how they're comparable. Does anybody know how they're comparable?
Well, they've got people there who worked on Star Trek under Berman, so they know how to pinch a penny till it screams.
Yeah,
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Gary Beekler did say that when he was on set, that he mentioned that now they have like real money, like now they have Game of Thrones money.
I'd imagine Orville season 3 budget is more than Picard's, but less than Discovery.
Well, they can point to ratings and, hey, look, we can verify we're a hit show. We were the number one show for Thursdays on Fox, and they moved to Hulu for the good of the show. Whereas the Discovery and Picard, they're there for the benefit of CBS All Access. It ain't working too well.
I don't think Fox had room on that room. They said Fox didn't have room on their schedule for them, and that's why they moved to Hulu. And I'm sorry, I just don't buy that.
I don't buy that either. No, they would have made room if they really could. But they were talking. Okay. But the network structure such they couldn't do more than like 40 minutes because they had to have those commercial breaks in there. Whereas on Hulu, they can do 50 some minute shows, maybe an hour and a half, whatever length they need for the sake of the story.
I don't know
for the good of the Orville that it's on Hulu. So
I have no proof.
Saying. Well, this is what they said. It was a decision they had kind of a gut check. For the good of the show, they took it to Hulu, so they're not tied down with with the commercial structure of broadcast TV of hitting a time slot.
I understand that's what they said, but they're always going to say something to make the best of anything, and I don't
Fox's,
know.
You got to look. Fox has got an NFL contract.
Too.
See, Fox's NFL contract plays havoc with what they can put on as well. Because I think they're trying to go after like the Thursday or the Monday or the Thursday night games too now. So, that would play havoc as to. Yeah, it would play havoc.
They might still run the occasional one on Fox just for teasing. For more, they'll turn to Hulu.
I don't know. I think it might have to do with the Disney sale or something, but for whatever reason, I think Fox did not want them back.
Okay, I was just searching for if I can find the Orville's budget, and came up with nothing. But I did find something saying that it was definitely definitely less than STD's $8 million. So,
wow, yeah.
Well, Orville got a tax credit too, didn't it? I kept hearing Orville was getting a tax credit from California.
Well, probably any show, as long as they're shooting in LA and giving union jobs down there, they'll give them a break on the taxes.
I think
just so we can compare their credit to Picard's credit.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find it.
I think they did, but not for season 3, if I'm not mistaken, because for some reason.
I mean, there's a reason why all these shows are shooting in Georgia, not because they're all of a sudden enamored with peaches. It is cheap in Georgia. What?
We'll be here in about 8 minutes.
All right. Food's on the way. So.
Oh, I had a really good GIF GIF to show for the Orville space battle. I can't find it.
That was such a good space battle. Well, that was probably one of the best space battles I've seen in a long time.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially compared to that
rivals the DS9 battles.
It beat the crap out of the one that there's going on Discovery. Yeah. We got two ships just sitting there taking a pounding. It's like, with little R2 droids running around the outside of the ships. Oh no, we made this up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Disney on line 4. They're not happy.
You know what I saw the other day, guys? I saw that clip again of Anson Mount, of that torpedo blowing up, and he kills the admiral. The torpedo kills the admiral and doesn't even, and he's just behind a door and nothing happens. Oh God.
A transparent aluminum door.
A photon torpedo is supposed to be more powerful than a nuke.
Yeah, inside the hull. Okay.
I should have blown up the entire ship.
It should have hollowed out the primary hull.
So according to space.com, Orville was approved for a $15.8 million tax credit for season 3, where Picard was approved for $20.45 million for season 2.
What the hell did they do with all that money?
They want those jobs in LA.
Should I see it on the screen?
They probably have to pay Patrick Stewart with it.
Wow.
He's an Englishman. He doesn't deserve that much money.
And shove a lot of money up to Discovery for those trips to Iceland.
Ooh, I found an Orville comm scanner prop.
So tomorrow, I just want to let everybody know. Tomorrow, we're gonna be having Raquel and Katie on, and we're gonna be talking about the new Orville. We're gonna be talking about the new Orville crew member, Ann Winters, and that's gonna be interesting. I don't know. We really have no information about what role she's gonna play on the show. But any speculation, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Another love interest for Ed. He was
Yeah,
a
you think so?
gunshot because he got burnt by a krill. Yeah.
Maybe. Let's see. Let me just put her picture up. So she's pretty young. She's in her 20s. So we're
Seth, you
like
dirty.
Alara left. So what do you guys think? Do you think she might end up on the bridge next to Gordon?
4 minutes.
If she does, you'll see a lot of dirty looks from Kelly right next to him.
Yeah, so this is Ann Winters. She's the actress who's going to play the new crew member on the Orville, and I guess we'll have to see. We don't have a lot. We really don't know a lot. We'll have
Do
to
we
see.
know what she's going to be doing on the bridge?
No, we don't know whether she's going to be on the bridge. We don't know. She could be on a whole new part of the Orville. She could be on the bridge. She could be. We don't know anything about her character, about her. We know nothing. So
Now the real question is, how big of an idiot is Gordon going to act around her?
I know, right?
This time.
Some people said that that they might like Ed and Gordon might try to some people like have it out for her.
Oh,
Some people, yeah, be competitive for her. And some people said that John Lamar might try to date her and Ensign Turco at the same time. So we heard a lot of theories.
I'd hope Ed not actually go
Every
after.
man on the ship is after her.
What? So what's your thinking there, Bird?
I mean, I don't think it'd be appropriate for Mercer to go after anyone, romantically below him on the ship. Kelly being his ex-wife being an exception, but it wouldn't be appropriate, especially for a new officer coming on. I mean, if it was somebody he had knew for years, maybe, but I would hope he doesn't get in a love triangle or anything. Gordon, it makes sense.
It'd be funny if Gordon and Lamar compete for her, because Lamar was helping.
But Lamar would win.
Yes. But
I think Gordon would just say, "Oh," and he would stop trying.
what if they add?
Maybe he'd wear his.
Gordon starts wearing the zipper jacket with a pair of zippers.
I was just gonna say that, man.
Yeah, always have one more zipper than you're comfortable with. I also thought it looked I thought it looked like a Kelly too. I was like, it looks like younger Kelly.
Hi, Alicia. Hey, yeah, Ann Winters maybe a new love interest for Gordon.
I mean, it could be. It doesn't. Not everybody has to be a love interest for somebody, though. To be honest, I mean, she very well could turn out to be, but I kind of hope she just turns out to be her own character, and I don't want to see every character in a relationship with someone else.
That's what they did with Tala. So.
We're speculating, but we don't know if her character's human or alien yet. I don't think. Do we?
I think she's at least humanoid, like where she's going to look like herself, I think, but I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Yeah, she might have makeup similar to Selene or something, where it's just a little bit on the face, not something like Boris.
Oh yeah.
A love interest for Talia.
So LJ says maybe she's a permanent
Now
replacement.
that would be kind of interesting.
Why? What's happening to Lamar?
No, I think LJ means where John left the bridge, the position on the bridge. I think that's what LJ means. Next to Gordon. He left that position on the bridge.
Right. Now he's the chief engineer.
A time traveling kiddo.
Yeah, I can see that.
I actually am shying away from the whole that she will be anybody's love interest for at least for now. That's my theory. I think maybe Gordon and John will try to like get her attention, but I don't think, or maybe Dan. Who knows?
We have to at least have a clip of Dan hitting on her.
Is she gonna hug the donkey with Gordon? So that's interesting. So what do you guys think? Do you think Discovery is gonna try to see when the Orville is premiering to set their date? Or do you guys think? Because I don't think I've read something earlier, but it didn't seem very definitive.
Are they done shooting? Is it just post-work now?
Yeah, I think they're done. So we don't know when Discovery's out, right? We don't know.
Nobody's given a date yet. Sorry. There's no date for Discovery. There's no date for... Although I think... Lower Decks is going to come on before Discovery.
Oh, please don't say that.
Lower Decks are the one show they actually know what they're doing.
Yeah, I actually have pretty high hopes for Lower Decks.
That's the
really
cartoon, right?
Yeah, the guy in charge seems to know what he's talking about when it comes to Trek, and he specifically was looking for an after Voyager series.
Okay, I didn't know they were ready to go with Lower Decks before Discovery. Wow.
What?
So you're hopeful, Bird, for that?
Sorry, did you say I was an uncle?
No, I said you're hopeful. You're hopeful.
Oh yeah, no, I am hopeful for Lower Decks. Listen, I was hopeful for every one of these shows, for every season of every one of these shows, but I'm particularly hopeful for Lower Decks.
That is the cartoon one, right?
It's the adult cartoon one.
Yeah,
It's the cartoon one, yeah.
yeah. So that can be done from home.
There's going to be the Nickelodeon cartoon one as well.
That one I'm worried about.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'll watch it because that's aimed at kids. That's not even. They're just saying, yeah, that's aimed right at kids.
Well, the very premise of troubled teens finding a derelict Starfleet vessel
And go an adventure.
and firing it up and just tooling around the galaxy having fun. Okay. If you follow the way things work in Starfleet, one, they wouldn't have lost the vessel in the first damn place. But the thing is, they kick that thing on. What's going to come on? The starship's transponder. It's going to let them, hey, people in charge of the ship that shouldn't be. It's going to send out an emergency signal. Hey, I've been commandeered. Somebody help me.
It'd be a very short trip.
Yeah.
Yes, the Starfleet would come. What are you doing with this ship?
Put in the command codes and power it down.
Boarded. Yeah, they'll do the command override there, and I can't control. Yeah, because we're now in control. Shut down. You're in big trouble, kids.
Have like Geordi or someone on the Starfleet ship that's going to retrieve it. Like, sir, I'm shutting down their engine remotely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm flooding the ship with anestetine gas.
Yes, and lowering the shields, and security to be over there in 10 minutes, taking these kids.
Yeah, but they would have the security code shields and everything. Yeah.
Repo it, repair what's left, and get a skeleton crew to take it back to Starbase and get it back on the fleet if necessary.
Are you guys looking forward to 58 minute episodes of the Orville?
Yeah, because actually, if you look in the original series,
cool.
The running time of an original Star Trek series was like 53 minutes. Because back then, a commercial break was literally one commercial. Somebody apparently got a hold of a copy of Space Seed from the first rerun back in 66 or 67, including the commercial breaks. It's pretty interesting, watch there where you have, the opening, the part you live on, brought to you on NBC on Living Color, in the teaser, opening credits, Star Trek brought to you not by Polaroid, new for 67. The Polaroid's up there, and then into the show. First commercial break, it's one commercial. It's like a 60-second commercial, but it's like one commercial, and then back to the show.
Yeah, so they were 53 minutes, huh?
Yeah, they were just about around the entire hour. I mean, nowadays you got to have they practically will throw a bumper. You're watching so and so on NBC. Oh, really? I'd forgotten so many damn many commercials. I forgot what I was watching.
And now they give more commercials than you do actual parts of the show.
Mm-hmm. So what happens when the bean counters take over? And we can do wall-to-wall commercials. Wouldn't it be glorious? Yeah, nobody will watch.
So, guys, we've been asking this question like once a week. I asked it again last night. If we get we're going to get some postponement of the premiere date for looks like you're going to get some postponement. If would you guys prefer a split season and to have them be pretty much on schedule, and then we wait for the second half of the season, or would you guys just have the whole thing be postponed and get it all at once? What do you guys think?
Well, it depends on how much they've got done to begin with. Because I think they already wrapped for Orville anyway, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they already
all closed at this point.
I think they're wrapped. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say having it split is fine, because I remember we were talking about it a few weeks ago, and you said that it's the episodes are going to be weekly and not all at once on like Netflix or something. So yeah, I'd say you can do split. I mean, I'm good either way, but
Well, the thing is, the split generally serves a purpose in a regular season because it gives everyone the shows themselves a chance to catch up on stuff.
Yeah.
Because the original series, again, that's my touchstone, the original series, they were at a point where they were finishing up the episode the week it aired. It's like, here it is. Okay, we got to get film off the network. And how good is it? We don't know yet. Go and run it.
I'd love split seasons because it just seems like way too long between seasons now. So if we do a long wait and then we start splitting the seasons, where it's never more than 6 months between seasons, that would be great.
But also back then, it was like the only way you got to see an episode more than once was during reruns. So either during the mid-season where they took okay, it's a rerun this week. Okay, we got time to finish this episode we're working on. And then during the summer when it's summer repeats. Other than that, you didn't get to see an episode again. Now, you can go back in and stream it anytime you damn well want.
And Stephen Klein brings up that
go back to 13. They may as well go back to 13 episode seasons. That way you can have that split.
The British model.
Well, I think they're like 10 episodes now.
Hey, how many episodes is season 3?
It's 11 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to say, though, I mean, one of the things they said at New York Comic Con, I think it was at New York Comic Con, I think it was John Cassar said, I think it was John that said they really want to bring like a mini movie to you every week. And I mean, I guess if it's going to be 55, 58 minutes, it's going to feel, I mean, it's definitely going to feel longer than a regular TV show. That's for sure. Stephen Klein also brought up the idea that there be a cliffhanger for between the split season. They could have done that with Identity Part 1 and 2 was mid-season show, and that was the big show in. Sorry, somebody was going to say something, I think.
I'm kind of getting tired of the cliffhangers every damn time. Because it starts smacking the desperation after a while.
There were quite a few Picard episodes toward the end that were 50-something minutes. 56 minutes, 54 minutes.
Yeah.
The worst ones, I could feel it. But the ones that weren't as bad, honestly, I didn't even notice that they were 10 minutes longer. That's the only thing I worry about, is that I'm not going to feel that extra 10 minutes because I'm going to be so into the show. And I'm going to be like, oh, it's over already, even though it's been 55 minutes or something.
Did you watch Mandalorian?
No, I never did yet.
Has anybody here watched Mandalorian?
Yeah, it was a good show.
What did you think, Robert, when that second episode was only 20-something minutes long? What did you think about that? Didn't that feel a little...
The case of it's as long as it needs to be. The beauty of being on a streaming service, they don't have to hit a time block or a time slot thing.
That's true. Yeah, that second episode though it was uncharacteristically short. It was I don't know. I had a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people commented on that about the second episode being that really short.
Mm-hmm. I'm still kind of amused by the fact that even the 3 seasons of Discovery, their total episode count will be like barely more than the first season of the original series. That first season was 28 episodes, and it's like I would put the alternative factor up against anything they put out.
By the way, guys, we interviewed the Mandalorian's dad. We interviewed actor Bernard Bullen, who plays his dad, and that's I'll probably do. We'll probably put that out on a playlist or something. And a lot of people think that the Mandalorian's parents are dead, but I don't think they are. I don't think they're dead at all.
And therein lies a tale. I just wonder all this uproar about Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka. I was in favor of giving us Ashley Eckstein at least right of first refusal. Because she's been with that character since the beginning. And she's done some on-camera stuff, so she wouldn't be totally out of place.
I like that casting, actually. What do you guys think about that casting?
Yeah, thinking back on it now, I'm fine with it because Rosario does look more like Ahsoka, and it is an older Ahsoka than we've seen so far.
I have no problem with it.
No, it looks like she can play the part. She looks the part. Okay. Yeah, I felt somebody did like a drawing of her face, and kind of looking like with the stripes and everything, and said, okay, she could be that. She could be Ahsoka.
Rosario is also a longtime nerd girl too, so she
Oh yeah, so.
That's true. Yeah.
So nobody had explained to her who this Ahsoka Tano. Oh, I know Ahsoka Tano. No.
Guys, I'm going to be putting in the links to our panel's YouTubes. So please, if you haven't subbed to them, please sub to them. And Amanda, can you put your link in? Can you put in the private chat the link to your channel?
Sure.
Thanks. Now, are you just out of curiosity, Captain Robert? Are you guys are like in transition to going west? Is that correct, or
hopefully we are where we're going to be? It's just a matter of trying to get trying to shake loose a Section 8 voucher so we can get into an apartment complex near here.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like we've come as far west as I want to go.
What state? Can I ask what state you're in?
All those fails down in Arizona, but I'd rather just know. I want we've got too much stuff starting up here, trying to reestablish.
Okay. Can I ask what state you're in, or?
We're in Colorado.
Oh, you're in Colorado. Oh, okay, that's cool.
We're in the Denver metro area. So.
Oh, nice.
And there's a place up in Boulder. When we started this whole process a few years ago, we kind of did ass backwards. Found a place to take Section 8, and then found out no, you have to have the voucher first. So now it's okay, get the voucher from the VA or whoever. Then we go, okay, here we go. Let's start this over again. Here's the voucher.
Okay.
Oh, I got a comment.
Okay, Steph has a comment.
So don't hit me here.
I'm not. Say it.
Okay. One of the guys on Doomcock's chat has advised us to, just go to any and every senator or congressman we can to try and get this VA thing shaken loose.
Kind of go beyond our own state centers. Start in any state. Because government offices don't like congressional inquiries. They're bringing an airstrike like that. They tend to go, okay, fine, go away. Here's your voucher. Leave it
Okay. Well, I think we'll I want to interview you one day, so we can set that up for another day, and we can talk all about that.
We'll discuss that.
I hope that all works out, though. I'm just putting. And I'm putting it. So, guys, sub to Mando's channel, and there's another channel that Mando has. It's called Cast in the Shadows, and I'm putting that too. And sub to Mr. Lundell as well, and obviously we're going to put in Bird of Prey. Bird, are you back or?
Just got back.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
No. I just wanted to ask you, how close are you to 2K, Bird?
1924, last I checked.
Oh.
So 75, 76 more people.
Wow.
So hopefully put out a video this week. That should help.
Oh, yeah. So everybody subbed to Bird, and what are you going to do for your big 2K bash?
I haven't decided yet. I don't like to plan until it actually happens.
Okay.
I got to get a little closer. So.
I just noticed Mr. Lundell has the William Shatner Alexander the Great pilot on there. That is something that needs to be seen to be believed.
Tell me about it, okay? I was shocked when I found it.
What?
Yeah, Bill Shatner and Adam West together playing, Greek soldiers. Like, my God. And he thanked his lucky stars when that didn't sell. Because like, oh my God, what have I found out? This thing actually sold. He'd been screwed, professionally. So when Star Trek came along, yes, please, before they changed their minds on the next
Yeah.
That's right. I was Star Trek Nitpicker's 1,000th subscriber. I remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was just looking, and I happened across his channel, and I looked at a video. It was okay, and I looked. I was like, "How many subs does this guy have?" And it was at 999. So I was like, "Ooh, boom!" Took it. And I said, "Hey, by the way, I'm a 1,000th subscriber." I was so happy.
Nice.
Now, so assuming we get a second season of Picard, what do you guys? So a lot of you think that Jerry Ryan won't be there, and the rest of the gang will probably be there, right? That the whole new gang.
Yeah, I think the Elnor and Girardi, they'll all be there. Rios,
AKA Space All Around, and Finger Pick.
I think
what about
they'll probably say Girardi was they decided she wasn't guilty because she was under mental pressure from Commodore O. Her mind meld made her do it.
Which
Yeah.
is
I still think it'll be a minor miracle on their part and a major disaster on our part if this thing gets renewed for a second season.
I think it's
Yeah.
been renewed.
There's too much.
The tragedy
There's enough
will
stuff
be
in
that
line.
they broadcast it.
I mean, between the Kung flu and everything else going on, and the fact that the numbers are not adding up for what they need, they got all the excuses in the world. Just pull the plugs. That's it. You may not try it, guys, but we'll try again later on. Okay.
Well, I do like that they
That's the
didn't
thing.
end on a cliffhanger. So if they don't bring back for season 2, for whatever reason, it's not the end of the world. I mean, it wasn't a great season 1, but at least they answered some of the questions.
I can list 5 video games they ripped off the top of my head right now.
Oh yeah.
Fallout 4, Mass Effect 3, Elite Dangerous, Crisis 2, and Detroit Become Human.
The man has priors.
Don't forget Dune.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Bird of Prey. How's the kill count going?
It was a final kill count per card.
Oh, well, officially in my video, I wrote 86 plus all the Borg, but then somebody called me out. I missed 2. So it's actually 88 plus all the Borg,
Plus all. Oh my god.
which is thousands.
Yeah.
And that's just one season of a Star Trek show. And that only lasts 10 episodes.
And mind you, those are 88 murders and suicides. Natural deaths are not counted.
You guys wonder if anybody at the Borg drones, once they're activated, can survive in the vacuum of space?
I get that, but they were clearly dead as
the idea was that
Kevin's reaction. But yeah, I believe that they should have been able to survive in space.
Yeah. 88 dead, dang. And they're all were there any natural deaths on the show?
Picard.
Sort of.
What do you guys think they did with his body?
Yeah, that's a good question. I wonder if
They're doing like Weekend at Bernie's on that synth world.
they revisit it.
Shipped it back to the vineyard for composting.
I think it would have been weird if he had been at his own grave. Like, that would have been something. But
Actually, that really would have been something, Bird. That's a good point.
they missed an opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Or they could save it for next season. They could bury him
yeah.
at the vineyard. He could have the body
That's
in the
not
back
the
of the ship.
opportunity they're going for. That's not the type of opportunity they're going for. Okay, since Picard is dead and we got a new guy, we got a new Picard. Okay, look at all of the modern societal tropes they can throw in now. All this, the gender and all of that nonsense they can actually play with next season whenever they make new ones, if they do.
Vile Mike, be careful if you have any Mocklin DNA. Smoking is really hazardous for your health. That's Orville. In case you haven't watched Orville.
Well, it's like the operative phrase for anything Kurtzman involved or Jay is like they don't think it through, and they'll never miss a chance to miss an opportunity.
How many people were here yesterday and could answer how many cigarettes Clyde Bordas replicated?
Oh yeah,
The right
Was it
answer.
503.
Yeah,
Bird. Is it 3 or 2?
3. It was 503.
It's 503.
The first one, Clyde 8. Then they replicated 2 more. They both smoked them. And then they said we needed more, and they replicated 500. So it was 503.
But the one that he ate wasn't that brought from the time capsule? It
No, it was replicated.
was replicated. Okay.
I watched it. Double check.
Oh. I forgot to check that. Oh, Bird, you're so good, man. Because I went to bed last night thinking
I
about
like
that.
His body got fixed in the replicators.
It's a good trick question.
Let's
Oh,
see,
yeah.
500 cigarettes. How many cartons is that?
Well, what's it? 20 to a pack? So
and 10 packs to a carton.
So that's about 2.5 cartons.
2.5 carts.
I used to smoke, so I know.
Yeah, my wife is an ex-smoker.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
They took
whatever
her-
watches that dog.
For number one, they couldn't. They had plans to bring number one throughout the season, but he was an uncooperative dog in shooting, so they had to drop him.
Oh.
Okay, this is what casting is for. Usually you filter this out before you start filming.
Yeah, but Picard wanted to use a rescue dog specifically, and lo and behold, a rescue dog's not trained to do acting, so.
Rescue dogs.
No. Really?
Usually you have that dog for a while in order to train them.
Oh, Vile Mike,
why
by
did
the way,
they
I didn't.
saddle it with a pit bull?
Well, Picard's a big pit bull rescue
Yeah,
person.
Patrick Stewart now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Picard. Patrick Stewart, yeah.
He's into rescuing pit bulls. Well, he
But-
should have had a couple of them that could act.
Vile Mike, those are going to destroy generations through time. You can't have those on TV.
I just want to say, Vile, I meant nothing about your sexual orientation for the Mocklin joke. I'm just washing my hands of that.
There was some tweet I got posted from the Discovery writers, kind of hinting they'll be doing a lot of time travel this coming season.
There are Mocklins who like women. We saw that last season.
Yeah, well, I was
That's
figuring, I responded like, "Haven't you guys done enough damage? You know, that's the whole point of going 1,000 years in the future was to get away from all that pesky canon. It's like cancel this show now." You'll see how that reverberates in the room.
How do you guys, by the way, how do you guys think, I think this is going to be a connection. Do you guys think they're going to connect Discovery and Picard somehow? Even loosely?
Is the Pope Catholic?
Well, they had the disco prize in that hologram in Star Wars.
Yeah, I'd say it's already loosely connected.
They're probably, it's already loosely connected, and I do think they're going to connect it further just because they promote the shows, and if they're connected, people will watch it because the MCU and everyone likes how everything's connected. And
I wonder if there's, contractual things stopping it though, since Discovery's on Netflix and Picard's on Amazon. Like, I don't know, for the final episode of Picard, when I watched it on CBS All Access, there was an advertisement for Discovery in the very first second of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I wondered if that also played on people watching it on Amazon, like outside the U.S. Because if they advertised a competitor show on Amazon, I think that would piss Amazon off.
I doubt it.
Interesting.
F-14 Barber, they are in a non-canon universe. They're not even worthy to be in one of the universes that we saw in that episode. The multiverse, quantum wall, the multiverse collapsed or something, and then I see all the different enterprises popping up. And there's one where the Enterprise was falling apart, and Riker was like crazed because they're fighting the Borg.
Okay, 14 Barber says he did not get any adverts for Disco on Picard on Amazon. Okay, yeah, it was just the final episode of Picard, right after the opening logo. You saw Michael Burnham holding the Federation flag, and like it said, Discovery coming soon. So good. That wasn't on. I didn't think it would be on Amazon, but I was curious. So,
Yeah, I've got my little version of the way the timeline works up, and JP, I can hit the button.
Ignore anything that's not like pretty much anything that's new. I kind of just ignore at this point.
Mhm.
But yeah, also I saw this. Actually, noticed this before I saw the Major Grin video, but Did anyone else think immediately of this last scene from Hellboy 2004 when the robotic tentacles were coming through the portal? Because I immediately thought it instantly reminds me of the scene where the 7 gods of chaos and Hellboy were coming through the portal that Hellboy was opening in that movie. And then, lo and behold, I go to Major Grim's video and he makes a video exactly of that.
I saw the other time the sky portal come up, with some terrible creature coming from the other side to destroy us all.
In the episode before, in episode 9, Sutra makes a point to say that as soon as they turn on the beacon, the AI will instantaneously come through. Near instantaneously come through to our side.
Oh, that was.
And then the very next episode, they turn on the beacon, and it takes them like 10 minutes to try to crawl through that thing. So it was anything but instantaneous. And then it goes away once they shut off the beacon. And they were still they were confused as to whether this was a beacon or something that actually opened the portal, because it shot off a ray like it was opening the hole.
Also, anyone else notice that the beam coming from the planet was blue, but then in space it was red?
Yeah, I heard that too.
Uh-oh.
I think that's
they did that with the Borg cube,
they did.
Didn't they? They did that with the Borg cube, didn't they? In one scene it was blue, and another one it was green or something like that.
Well, in the previews it was blue, and in the intro it's blue, but in the episodes it's green.
Continuity, people. Continuity.
Are you guys looking forward to reviewing? Will you be reviewing? Like, Bird, will you be reviewing? What about you, Mr. Lundell? What about you guys?
I'll review whether it's Discovery or Lower Decks. I'll review them all.
Me, I'm not really a reviewer. I kind of do the Mystery Science Theater 3000 type thing with people in the chat watching really old bad movies. So.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
that's part of the gig. So yeah, I'll be reviewing it.
Yeah, I do that similar MST 3K thing with my guys over at Cast in the Shadows, but we don't do Star Trek out of respect for one of the guys just completely heartbroken and destroyed about Star Trek with the more recent content. Like the second I say it, like he'll say, "Can we not talk about it?" So.
Somebody seen a little preview from Red Letter Media that apparently Mr. Plinkett's coming back to review Picard.
Yes, I saw that. I was wondering how they're going to do their episode 9 and 10 review, because, I mean, unless Mike was dragging Rich, kicking and screaming literally to do a review.
The first I think it was they reviewed the first 3 episodes together or something like that. That was funny. The beginning.
5. No, then 4, 1 and 2, I think, and then
okay.
3 and 4 or something, and then 5, 6, and 7, or 7, 8. No, I don't remember. I just remember that the last episode they did.
Their first Picard review, I could not stop laughing. I was
funny. Also, they point out that in the scene with the premonition, the green glowing railing, which, by the way, the green glowing effect they use is literally the same exact effect they use for the beacons in Mass Effect that do the exact same thing, give you like a mother load of information and premonitions. And they noticed in one of the clips, the railing has no special effects on it. It's just the silver railing.
It looked like PVC pipe.
Yeah,
we called it the PVC pipe of knowledge.
That's funny.
I mean, at this point, a non-Sabdine's lawsuit over the tardigrade thing is going to turn into a class action lawsuit when all the other guys do, yeah, I ripped off my game too. Yeah, I made too. You know,
EA is very...
You'll have like 5 or 6
when you're
lined up.
I've seen it happen more times than I can count, unfortunately, when it comes to Star Wars fan-made games now. Like I've been following a lot of them, and then all of a sudden, EA and Disney both sue them, and it gets to the point where some of them are still making a fan game, but it looks nothing like it originally did. Yeah, the gameplay might still be the same, but I mean, you would never be able to tell that it was originally a Star Wars fan game. And it's stuff like that, where it's like, they didn't even have Star Wars in the title just because it uses the same images or sound effects or whatever. And obviously, it's going to be free. They abide to all the fair use rights, but Disney and EA just have their way. I'm actually surprised EA hasn't attacked CPS for this yet.
Some of these things there's a delayed action between, especially with the big corporations. Okay, we got to make sure these things are all lined up because we saw what they're doing to poor on us, stringing him along forever.
Yeah.
But Melinda Snodgrass apparently hasn't been paid because they owe her money for invoking Bruce Maddox over and over again.
Yeah, and they
got a creator credit for that.
At least at the time of that interview,
which wasn't that long ago. So I'm sure her lawyers or agents are lining up the ducks on that one.
That was after the episode where they killed him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
When they interviewed for Matt Jetson, did you? No, I have not been paid for that. And
that's the whole thing. And I love how they even go into like how the logic of why watch him face Paris, right, from Voyager, because it's the same actor from an episode of TNG with the Cobalt Starburst at the Academy. But obviously, if they had this guy be the same name, then they'd have to pay the guy for every episode that he's in, which would have been every episode. That's just realistically not feasible. So.
Yeah, they changed his name, but he had the same backstory.
Yeah.
Are we talking
Tom Paris?
Paris.
Yeah, Tom Paris. Yeah,
and having the same as the episode where Wesley's at Starfleet Academy. And Jaeger.
It was the same actor that played his team lead, right?
Yeah, the way the official story goes is they wanted something like Nick Locarno from that episode Next Gen. But the thing is, they felt Locarno, the character Locarno himself, was kind of irredeemable because we saw what happened. So we would not be able to forgive him. Whereas if we didn't really know exactly what happened, it'd be easier to forgive the guy. So they kept it vague with Paris of just what exactly happened. But then trying to find somebody to play this guy. And the rest, they wanted someone like Robbie McNeil. So, okay, we'll get Robbie McNeil. Just pay Locarno, or just change it to Locarno to Tom Paris, and there we go.
Yep. Also, for anyone that's curious, the reason why I brought up the games I did when I listed what Star Trek Picard ripped off. So Detroit Become Human is like a game about android rights and how the androids aren't considered human; they're considered machines, less than human, slaves, and the whole point of the game is you make decisions that either work and help androids get rights, or they just completely wipe out all androids. And so obviously that was something in Star Trek Picard, and then Fallout 4 is the obvious one. In Fallout 4, the androids are called synths, and that's
kind of begs the question. They base so much off of Measure of a Man. Did you guys even watch Measure of a Man?
I know,
because the normal terms are asked and answered. Move along, counselor.
Now, have they watched any Trek? I mean, even read the non-canon stuff. I mean, come on. Just listen to an audio book once in a while. They would figure stuff out.
Nothing is Anna that Star Wars goes. They're just going by the synopses off of the little snippets they get when they start clicking through the list on Netflix. Let's see what this episode about. Oh yeah, there we go. And they're not even bothering to watch the episode itself.
Those synopses are like 2 lines long, at most.
Captain Robert, I want to ask you something because I haven't gotten your opinion on this.
All right.
Now, the space flowers we saw in Picard, they're in the intro to Star Trek Discovery. I think they're the same ones. Mr. Miles was very kind to send me this picture. Although Mr. Miles was sending it to prove that they're different kind of space flowers, but to me they look pretty much the same. But what did you do? Did you see that? I mean, this is.
I just completely went by me because like it's just more nonsensical graphics that make
I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that the way they and there was obviously some kind of intention to include these space flowers from the beginning of Discovery because it's in the intro.
If it is, they're being a little too clever by half because it's like just whatever. Because they're doing that for reference to a show that wasn't going to air for another year or two. Yeah.
They probably thought it was a cool graphic for STD, and then for STP, they're like, we need something that's going to be like all powerful, like some kind of planetary defense system. I'll bring down a Borg ship. How do we have giant space flowers? Like, by the way, that's one of the things they ripped off from Elite Dangerous. There's a giant space flower in Elite Dangerous.
Hey, wasn't that you who sent that to me, Mando?
Yes, yeah.
I have that picture actually. Yeah, I have. Wait,
it's like
you sent me
suddenly
that.
Apollo grabbing the Enterprise with a big green hand doesn't sound quite so ludicrous, does it?
The space flowers, they look a lot different in Elite Dangerous, but it's still a giant space flower.
Yeah.
It's not a giant orchid, but it's still a flower.
Yeah, because I remember the picture you sent me. That was pretty interesting. Let me see if I got it over here.
So I think with Discovery's opening graphics, I was just so annoyed the fact there is no theme. You get a few music motifs that kind of like they're leading to a theme, but they never quite get there until like the last, very end when the ship swoops by, and you get the opening, 5 notes of the original series theme. Other than that, it's just there's no theme there.
Where is this? All right, now I can't find it. So, well, anyway, yeah. What was that, Mando, again? Where was that image from? From what?
The space flower from Elite. Here, do you mind if I share it?
Oh yeah, please. Right. From what? Can you repeat it?
So the space flower is from Elite Dangerous.
Elite Dangerous.
Here. Oh, that's a card. Here is like some images of it.
Thanks, EH. I appreciate that.
And
no, that's totally different. Our flower's red. No, that's not. We didn't do anything. No.
Yeah.
There's a red one too, though. You showed me a red one. Mm-hmm. You sent me a red one.
This is all. Here's the. Oh, is this not? Right, let me see if I can.
But yeah, the whole concept of the space flower.
That's a common theme in sci-fi. Yeah. Trust us. It comes all the time, Judge. Yeah.
This is the Major Grin video he did about. Even he knew about it. So they're so obvious when they rip things off too. It's like.
If there would have been an audience in that Anas trial, like all Trekkies, that like everyone just would have died laughing when the verdict was read.
Well, if it was a jury, it's like they would have, yeah, right. There's tardigrades all the time. Bull. Big blue tardigrades travel everywhere in space and time. Basically, a insectoid version of the infinite improbability drive. Sure, happens all the time, Alex. Bull. You're going down, boy.
Thanks, Elysium. Thanks, Mountains of Elysium. So, how's everybody holding up with the confinement? How are you doing, Bird? Because you're in New York.
Yeah, we're right here. We're in Queens. We're right in the heart of it.
Yeah, you're in the epicenter here.
But my
family
lifestyle personally hasn't really changed since I'm pretty much stuck home all the time anyway. The only thing that's gotten harder is ordering food. Can't really order out. I mean, we wouldn't want to order out.
Yeah.
And grocery delivery, instead of coming next day, it's hit and miss. You're lucky if you can get a window, and if you do, it could be a day, it could be a week, it could be 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and
I'm also
100% sure what comes.
Yeah, I'm also in New York. I'm in Manhattan now, and yeah, it's.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Yeah, my brother used to live in Queens. He just moved in with me recently, looking for a new place, and so yeah, we're yeah same boat. You know, it's like you know, like for example, I ordered stuff a week ago from Friday, and I'm still waiting on it. And yeah,
Groceries.
groceries as well as just not even grocery stuff, just things in general. Just they come like over a week
Oh, wow.
because they prioritize everything there.
How are your families
Amazon
doing?
used to be able to ship anything now.
Yeah,
Anything that's not, virus related, they take like an extra week to ship.
yep. My family's
Oh.
doing all right, although my uncle actually has it and just went to the hospital Friday night.
Oh.
I've been lucky. I had a cousin who had it, and actually the woman who was like my nurse who used to come every day. She
That's right.
they both had it, but they both recovered.
Nice.
But still, I'm not going to see her for probably at least several more weeks because she works in a nursing home most of the time, and the nursing home, it's really bad.
Wow. How did your nurse handle it? Was it hard for her, or was it?
She said it hit her pretty hard, but I don't know, after 4 or 5 days she was up again. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, nobody needed to go to the hospital, luckily, that I know.
My uncle's the only person I know personally that had to go to the hospital. So, um,
What about you, Miss?
so far he's fine. He's having trouble breathing though. But I mean, that,
So he's in the hospital now.
yeah, he's in the hospital now.
Oh,
He's
wow.
had it for about 2 weeks that he knows of. So, and I also have a friend, a close friend of mine who also does stuff with me on Cast and Shadows channel. He has it, but so far doesn't have any symptoms. He has like a bit of a cough, but that's about it. So, and he only found out last week. So.
We're getting off light out here.
Wow. But what about so you guys are good, right, Captain Robert?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got the usual thing of try and stay at home, but the stores are still open. So, well, some of the grocery stores and stuff are still open, but and restaurants are still doing takeout. So,
And what about?
not a lot of inconvenience. We're kind of on the road anyway, so
What about you, Mr. Lindell? What part of the country are you in, if you want to say?
I'm in Dallas. So far, nobody I know has come down with it. And like Bird, uh, I'm just lazy, so I'll have groceries delivered, and that's like he said, that's kind of hard to get done. But I have there's like 2 convenience stores within walking distance, so no problem, to go one of those places and grab a couple things. Uh, right now, just waiting for the job market to open back up down this way. So that's why I've been doing all the goofy movies on my channel. Had nothing else really to do, just to occupy time. So
I got to check that out. I haven't had a
now I'm
chance to
figuring,
check it out yet.
yeah. Now I got to try to figure out a way to keep it going. So when I go back to work, I'm thinking guys are beginning to expect a movie at a certain time of day from me. So I just
How
gotta
many
figure
how
out
many
how to
subs
keep
are
it
you
going.
at, Mr. Lindell?
It's less than 100. It's just like 85.
I'm showing 87 here.
86. Oh,
I am. I'm gonna check right now.
that many.
Let's see. Huh. All right, I'm at 97. Almost at 100.
Oh, that quick.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Be sure to check out Alexander the Great, okay?
Mm.
And you can all rib William Shatner when you see him. Yeah, right.
Oh,
You
yeah.
were a Greek general, you know.
He's also got Quatermass.
What
Looking through the
about
list here.
Captain
Yeah,
Robert?
that's
When
the TV show.
What was that?
Oh, go. No, I was just going to ask. When did you? When did you start your channel? Like about a year and something ago, or?
Well, I started the channel actually about probably over 6 years ago, just to put up some stuff I was working on at the time. But started going seriously doing videos probably just a couple years ago, just before we got booted out in the street. First, I need to get something going. So I've been a full-time YouTuber, whether I liked it or not. So
Yeah. And when did you start your channel, Bird?
Well, I've had the channel for like 8 or 9 years, but I only started doing live streaming and videos for people to actually watch November of 2018, I guess. So a year and a half.
Oh wow. So that was pretty good growth.
Well, a big jump happened right around Game of Thrones final episode. I decided to live stream during the final episode and the episode before it. And the live stream of the final episode, I had over 48,000 views and 2,200 people in the chat at once.
Holy crap!
It
So
was crazy.
You were reviewing it, or doing
I
like a
was
commentary?
live watching it and just giving my reaction. And
Oh,
I
wow.
had like a small screen up with a bunch of static on it, so people could see some of what was happening, but not enough to trigger a copyright match. And granted, a lot of people were angry because they thought they were going to be able to see the whole thing, but I was very clear that this was just a live review. I can't, pirate the show for you on YouTube. Yeah. I'm sorry. But a lot of people were happy too. So I got me from like 300 to the 1,000. Also, the same week as Game of Thrones, I did it. That was Sunday. Then I did again on Thursday for the series finale of Big Bang Theory, and I had another 28,000 views and 1,000 people in the chat. Completely different people. So it was a crazy couple of weeks, and that really helped get me up to that first 1,000.
Oh wow!
DJ was not.
Yeah, DJ Odyssey and a few other people. Rambling Canuck. I had modded. I had appointed a lot of mods in my chat before, and that night they were all going crazy. Thomas Potts, they were going crazy, just keeping 2,000 people in line. 2,000 rowdy people in line. It was epic. It was epic. I'll probably never have that again.
Was that for the Big Bang Theory or Game of Thrones stream?
Game of Thrones was twice as big as the Big Bang Theory, but they were both huge.
Okay. Yeah, because I was there for the Game of Thrones, and and I was there listening to you freak out, when things didn't go your way.
Oh, I was pissed. Yeah, in watching the episode. Yeah.
The big problem with Game of Thrones is they tried to do about 2 or 3 seasons worth of story into like 8 episodes. Because frankly, that last season, 8 seasons should have ended at the Battle of Winterfell. And then the rest of it following on, and probably another 2. HBO is more than happy to do a book, bank with like 3 or 4 more seasons.
Let me just say, guys, Yitza, we hope your family,
They
your
didn't
sister
have
and your
any
family
material.
get better soon.
They had some material. They had the basic plotline thing is they tried to rush it through because they need to get Star Wars. Damn it!
I had thought about doing that, Bird, at with Game of Thrones. Actually, I didn't do it, but that's wow. I'm glad it turned out well.
Well, what it was I saw that people were getting big crowds before the episode, and then Nerdrotic and Doomcock were getting huge crowds after the episode, but nobody was on during the episode. Unfortunately, I didn't think of this until the second to last episode. So I did it for the second to last episode, and I got like, I don't know, 300-400 people that first night. And I was like, okay, I'll do this again next week, figuring I'd get about the same. But next week being the series finale, it turned out to be, far bigger than I ever expected. And then there was Big Bang, so I did it for Big Bang. And that also turned out to be pretty damn big. And then I've tried for a few other things, but nothing has come even, 10% of that since.
Yeah.
I'm not watching Westworld. I gave up. I gave up on Westworld. What I am probably going to do is 2 weeks, Sunday in 2 weeks, is the final episode of Homeland on Showtime. I'll probably live stream that.
Is anybody reviewing Westworld here, or watching it or reviewing it?
Doomcock and Nerdrotic do a review after every episode. They're on the Inquisition show.
Yeah, they do it on the Inquisition. I never really got into it. I haven't watched the first season, so.
First season was great.
But I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. I enjoyed the first season. The second season was so bad, I have absolutely zero desire to watch it anymore.
Was it that much of a difference,
I couldn't
Bert?
get past the first episode.
That much of a difference, yes. Complete and utter ruination of the series.
You too, Mr. Lindell?
I tried to watch season 1, episode 1. It was boring to me. Yeah, I just left it alone because I'm basing my experience on the old movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it was, to me, there was
great,
nothing
the old
that
movie.
it recognized it. Yeah, the old movie is much better, and there was nothing recognizable in there, so I just kind of never got into it.
Wasn't Yul Brynner amazing in that movie?
Yeah, he was. That and well, James Brolin was actually pretty good up until the time Yul Brynner shot him.
Not for a long time. It's Black Man in Black Gunfighter. And I thought it was from Westworld until a while to figure out that was from the Magnificent Seven, originally.
Yeah, that was the costume Yul Brynner wore was from Magnificent Seven.
Mm-hmm, yeah, but I was like, I was a little kid when the movie came out, so it was like,
Mr. Lindell, what's the last movie you did then on your channel?
Super Argo versus Diabolicus. I did it at it was a 3 o'clock showing today.
Oh wow, that's color, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, I definitely want to catch that up. I have been since I started the channel. I've been wanting to do a mystery science theater type thing, but I haven't gotten around to it. That's a great idea. I want to watch your channel. That's great. That's awesome. And Mando was doing something like that too. You said.
Yeah, we're planning on doing it for a few upcoming things. I think we're going to do it for the upcoming Netflix Transformers series, as well as whatever else we think of that we want to watch.
You were saying, Mr. Lindell? Sorry.
No, I didn't. I wasn't me.
a show with everything but Yul Brynner.
Philip. Oh, Philip. Actor Orville actor Philip O'Reilly. Oh. Wow.
So, PJ, you might appreciate this.
Yeah.
I had a dream last night that I was at this big party, and it turned out to be Seth MacFarlane's house.
Oh,
and
really?
I pushed on a wall because it looked weird. I was like pushing on a wall. It turned out to be a secret door, and behind it was the set of the Orville.
No way. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so like the party just went into the Orville set. There were people drinking and dancing. There was music.
This was your dream?
This was my dream, yeah. And then while I was in the Orville set, I was like looking around the ship. I was like, oh, this is cool. And I was like, oh, I got a great idea for a story. And I started looking for Seth to try to pitch him my idea, but I never found him in the dream. So I tweeted him this morning, but he never responded.
Oh, you did?
And I told him, I dreamed I was at a party at your house and there was a secret door. It went to the Orville set. And now I got a great idea. I'll trade you for a ship or a jacket. He didn't respond. Yeah, no, in a dream, Philip.
So how did you know it was Seth's house in the dream?
I just had I don't know, like, in a dream, you're like, this is Seth MacFarlane's house. I don't think anybody said it.
It's one of those dream things. Just
I just knew that it was. And then I was like, oh, okay, I'll go look for Seth. He's got to be here somewhere. And I couldn't find him. But in my head, I was looking for him in his captain's uniform, which, in hindsight, obviously he wouldn't have been dressed in his captain's uniform.
But then again, he got the set behind a hidden wall, so maybe.
Maybe. But no one else was in uniform.
What?
Another thing, I need to do an update on my fan film retrospective there to include Seth doing that fan film. It was like probably 12. The snip of that Star Trek fan film and this is where it can lead to, kids. You're learning your chops when you're 12, and pretty soon you become an in-demand director if you stay at it.
Now, what do you got? We saw Ben Bird's comment here about a mirror universe. Let me ask you this, guys. Well, first of all, would you want to see a mirror universe in the Orville?
Isn't that what STD is?
We kind of did that actually with the thing where Kelly, decides not to call Seth back for a second date. So we kind of saw what a mirror universe would look like.
But we saw an alternate timeline.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think we kind of got that out of the system now. So.
Well, let me ask you this: do you guys think that they'll start season 3 with? Do you know what? So is the timeline totally been restored, or some people say? I think it was Bird actually who said it, that there may be some little changes in the timeline. Didn't you say that, Bird?
I might have. I say a lot of things. At this point, I would
restore. Let's move on.
I would expect that they should have it restored.
Yeah.
That's not the original timeline anyway. You remember back to Charlize Theron episode. Orville was supposed to have been destroyed in that storm. And she was there. She was going to grab it just before it was stolen and take it into her time so it would have been sold to some collector.
So she says.
So they're not in the proper timeline anyway.
I invoked
in her timeline, presumably the Kazons didn't destroy all organic life, so she might not have been in that bad of a timeline.
Yeah, I invoked the predestination paradox.
Did anyone else get reminded of Zodiac TNG in that episode with Charlize Theron? With those aliens that were buying the Orville?
Can you repeat that, Amanda?
The Shellyak, where like the squid looking they're non-humanoid aliens from from TNG. I think it was it the first?
Oh, the Shellyak, yeah, the Shellyak.
The aliens buying the Orville. It looked very reminiscent. The lighting and everything.
Are we going to see more Priya? What do you guys think? Will we ever see her again?
Depends. Charlize Theron's schedule is clear.
Seth's got a lot of friends, and he has a knack for getting people that you think would never show up on a cheesy little sci-fi show. Liam Neeson, what the hell is he doing there?
Bruce Willis was on there. Yeah, I mean,
I mean, Jason Alexander under 100 pounds of latex. I'm not surprised. He's a big fanboy too. William Shatner was his inspiration for getting into acting.
Oh, what do you guys think about this? Do you? I had a video on this on my channel. Do you guys think we'll ever see Ted Danson at the bar with Onyx on the Orville with Jason Alexander on the Orville? Like at the bar, Ted Danson at the bar.
That would be great.
It would probably be like he's on
that would be great,
inspecting or something, or just having a meeting with Ed on the ship, and they're talking, and he just goes over to the bar, like, mind if I make a drink or something, and like just like a little nod, little throwaway for people who get it. But it would still be awesome.
We had an episode. I mean, I don't really watch Becker, but I saw there was an episode at Becker where they actually put him behind the bar, like they just jumped behind the bar and started making drinks. So yeah, that would be awesome. And my reasoning was too that George was always complaining. George Costanza on Seinfeld was always complaining about the Ted Danson plane and the Ted Danson salary, and that they would somehow interact on the Orville. But anyway, I'm a broken record. I've said that like a gazillion times. You guys have heard me say that before. So. So tomorrow for anybody who's just coming in here, tomorrow we're going to be talking about with Katie and Raquel about Ann Winters, who's going to be the new crew member of the Orville. And I don't know, did you know you heard about her, right, Bird?
Yeah, the same thing that she's going to be a new crew member, but no details.
No details, yeah. Yeah, what do you guys think about the fact that Orville doesn't have a problem with leaks like Star Trek Picard or Star Wars? What does that say about the production? What do you guys think about that?
That means they understand the fan base.
Yeah, I think that people probably have a good relationship.
You got happy workers.
Exactly.
Happy workers and just people who are confident in what they're doing. Like, I'm confident that this is going to be good or decent or whatever. Like, I don't need to be like, oh, I have to hide it, because then people will realize how bad it actually is.
Because the first people to run to leak things are people who feel that they've been insulted or they've been, they haven't gotten the respect they're due. And they're like, well, F you, I'm going to go leak something to somebody, make up for it.
And the fact that they are interacting with the fans and not getting their heads taken off by the fans, that we love them, and they're showing us stuff. Yeah, this is hey, here's a fan doing replica blasters. Great,
Actually, the one leak I did see, remember the one leak we did see on Twitter? That's the only one I've seen about them on a football field or something like that. It was a season 3 leak. Everybody on Twitter just collaborated and didn't retweet it. Most of because it was evident, like it became evident real fast that it was unintentional, and the fans didn't really put it out there anymore. They stopped. They didn't even retweet it. I don't know if you guys saw that picture.
No.
But I do want to say on what you were saying about how fans are making stuff they don't like. It's a similar thing as what I see in the Halo community, where if some guy makes a Halo game, like I actually know someone who's making a Halo game, a fan made Halo game, and it's not, you don't see Microsoft and 343 Industries jumping down their throats, suing them, saying you can't do this. No, they're 343. Oh, Microsoft doesn't really care, but 343 actually applauds people doing fan made content because it's free advertising. Especially
That's the way Paramount you look at the fan film for Star Trek, yeah.
Or book or something every single week or month or whatever. Like, you get a new book like maybe once a year. You get a new game once every 5 years. It's so you need stuff in between to keep the community people interested. And like the books do it for some, but some people like doing their own thing.
Yeah, so. Paramount back in the day would look at the fan films that way. It's like it's free advertising. It's, we don't have to make anything that keeps the fans interested in buying the stuff that is put out. Then it really started with Viacom came in. That's when you got the little Paraborg period, where they started shutting down things left and right. But then they got beat back a while when fans got outraged. But then X&R had to poke the bear one too many times. Sorry, but that's the way it was.
X&R's looking pretty good, huh? The trailer that they put out.
Well, yeah. Technically, Alex really had very little to do with it. It was mainly Rob Burnett and the director that worked on it to put that thing together. In some cases, over Alex's objections.
No, I mean the new trailer. I mean,
I haven't seen the new trailer yet. Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to let everybody know that that on Wednesday, Simone is going to be having another show on Wednesday, and so see, I think she's having. So she's part of a video game called Need for Speed, and I think she's going to be. Oh wait, I'm getting mixed up. I forget who's. I'm not sure exactly who she's having on Wednesday right now. It's not the Need for Speed. I don't know what she's doing on Wednesday. I think she's having something, but what did you guys think of her debut on YouTube? Did you guys watch it? Have you seen her channel?
Yeah, I loved it. I was there.
I'm not familiar with it.
Oh, so Simone Bailey, she's a Stargate actress who is started a. We interviewed her a couple months ago. She started her live streaming basically for her YouTube. So yeah, she's growing. Well, she's gonna fly out by all of us real fast. I think. She's off to a good start. So.
Yeah,
Do you think
she's an SG-1 actress who had a Stargate Atlantis actress interviewed last week? And I've known her from Morville Nation streams going back a month or two.
I'm going to show Robert a picture, see if he recognizes her. Do you think any new Stargate is in the works?
I'd hope there was, but I've seen nothing to suggest it. I mean, that web series I thought was atrocious.
Oh God, I didn't like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I caught a few minutes of Stargate Universe. The Stargate Universe looked like a shot in a closet.
This is a great picture I'm going to show you guys. You've seen this before, obviously. So you guys can tell me the other actresses in this picture. Oh, wait. Let me pull it out. Where'd it go?
Yeah, Jodorowsky's Dune. That would have been. It would have been a mind-blowing experience.
It would have been a train wreck.
It would have been. It would have been a train wreck, but it would have been interesting. It wouldn't have been dull.
So do you guys recognize? So Simone is Simone. She was very young here. She was a Jaffa warrior. She's the one on the right. You guys obviously recognize the one on the left, don't you?
Yeah, I know that.
Jolene Blaylock.
Yeah.
To Paul.
Yeah, to Paul.
No, Jolene Blaylock, self-described beach bum.
Is she a self-described beach bum?
Yeah, when she was talking, she was a surfer chick and everything. When they hired her for Star Trek.
Oh, really? That's funny.
And Connor Cheney said it's hilarious watching her be Vulcan because she's such a goofball otherwise. So.
Oh God.
Yeah, she is. I've seen interviews with her, and she's like, kind of airheady, but and then you look at her get into the T'Pol character, and like, what am I watching here?
Yeah.
In real life, she is kind of spacey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that could be just an act. Some people are. She did a really good job, I thought. By the way, I think I want to do I want to do one night just on Enterprise because I think Enterprise is very underrated. I don't know how do you guys feel about Enterprise?
I think folks have grown a whole new appreciation for Enterprise after having to go through the crap we went through the past few years.
Oh, that's for sure.
I've enjoyed Enterprise for a while now.
That's very true.
And Voyager's also coming up too. I mean, Threshold is miles beyond anything that they've come out with. And Bragg come out and apologized for that one.
I would say I don't understand.
Well, see,
Go ahead, Mr. Rondo.
I never really had an issue with Voyager, or even that episode Threshold. Okay, as I see it, what happened, especially with me, after DS9, that last season, let's just face it, that was one heck of a roller coaster ride. We finally got to see, big starship maneuvers and big space battles and all of that. And so after DS9 ended and Voyager ended, we were kind of burned out. At least I was. I was burned out on Star Trek. So you really didn't get into Enterprise, even though it was interesting. The time period that they were in.
You felt burned out?
Kirk and everybody.
You felt burned out?
I was kind of burned out on Trek. Yeah, let's face it. From the original series to Voyager, to me, that's like a golden age of sci-fi from one franchise. So anything after that, it was, even though interesting, it was just kind of weak. But looking at it now, years later, they did good work in Enterprise. The writing is not as bad as we claimed we said it was at the time.
Except for the Voyages.
But
that one still thinks so nice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That last episode can be trashed.
Yeah.
But other than that,
My theory on Enterprise is that it suffered from its release because it was released only 3 weeks after 9/11. And I really don't think most of the country was in the mood for seeing a show about exploration again. I think we were on a war footing as a country. We wanted to see battles. And here we were with a show that was written pre-9/11, trying to return us to that spirit of exploration that was closer to the original series.
Bird, how did the first season already premiered before?
Yeah, they were already out when 9/11 happened, but the Xindi arc was their response to the 9/11.
No, the series premiered 3 weeks after 9/11.
Let me check that here.
You can check it.
Yeah,
right there.
I think it's the second season that premiered after 9/11.
I think it may have changed the name from Star. By that time, they may have changed to Star Trek Enterprise, but I think it was Enterprise.
But I mean, regardless, Bird is right. Either way, Bird is right with what he's saying. You're right.
Well, it could be argued that was the one time you wondered because everything was about 9/11 and the war on terror. We need a break from all this. What the
Yeah, I was.
okay, yeah. Okay. Broken Bow, was
September 26,
2001. Yeah. So
I agree. We wanted a break, but not 3 weeks in. I remember at work, people were putting up things about nuking Kabul on like the bulletin board at our office. And it was a big office, just outside New York City. This wasn't
15 days.
Yeah, this wasn't some small place. This was a big, diverse office, and people were putting up things about nuking Kabul for a month and a half.
yeah.
We had a dartboard of Osama bin Laden in one of the rooms for a long time.
Yeah.
People did not want to see it. I think that was certainly why I was not a big fan. I looked at it. I was like, I watched a couple episodes and I stopped watching. It was only after years later that I went back and I was like, you know what? This isn't only not bad. This was good. And I honestly think it's one of the best tracks.
Now, the only one I actually boycotted was season 3 because I did not like the idea of this war that,
I didn't like season 3 either.
Yeah. I came back and watched it later. Actually, it's not bad. And the way he wrapped it up was, okay, this is why there was no mention because nothing really happened. Yeah, really, and one attack and that nothing else beyond that. So this is why nothing hits the history books.
Yeah, it was. They were trying to relate to how people felt at the time. Yeah.
There's also, I think also you got to take the realities of TV production. They probably started filming in like June or July. Usually when they start, for September premiere at that point. So yeah, by the time they premiered in September, everything's already lined up. These things are sewn up schedule wise. So unless they actually did have a nuclear war with wall-to-wall coverage, it's like this is staring on September 26th, whether you like it or not.
I think it was
probably like 10 episodes in by that point.
Yeah, I don't think they decided to change the direction until that season 3. And then I think by the time season 3 finally aired, that was when people were finally tiring of.
Well, I think also by then that's when it wasn't just Afghanistan. Then it was into Iraq. And that's when the second Gulf War kicked in. Okay, now we're gonna clean house, and that's when they brought in the Zindi and all that. So
when I go back and watch the first season, even though the first season is very simple, I do think that story about how to connect our more of something closer to our present to connect it to the future of Trek. I do think that story is important. I do think it's important to connect our present to and how we develop into that future. So I appreciate it a lot more when I watch it. Every time I go back and watch it.
I know a lot of folks that have trouble accepting were the ones that really bought into the whole Starfleet battles timeline and the prehistory that built up before that point of how and the fact that it was being just tossed out the window. So no, this is how it happened. No, you can't toss out my Starfleet battles. It's like, oh yes, we can.
What did you guys think about First Contact? Did you like that the concepts and the concepts of Vulcan First Contact?
The only problem I had was them casting Jamie Cromwell as Zefram Cochrane.
You don't like him?
Well, it's just they've been using him too much anyway, and there was still that. Well, no one's gonna care about it. They didn't look like he did back in the series. And Rick, if you paid attention to Star Trek with the past few years, we care. We take notes. We pay attention. We write books about this crap. Okay. And my opinion is they could have gotten George Clooney at that time because he was not George Clooney yet. He was that guy on ER. They could have gotten him. He'd have been a great casting match for play Zefram Cochrane and not changed a word of dialogue. He could have still been the same drunken idiot, dancing in the bar late at night, and then after Geordi telling him there's going to be a statue here, I got to take a leak. Same as kept everything the same because Clooney's got the chops to get it pulled it off. But he wouldn't have this, after the fact rationalization of, okay, well, it was still nuclear radiation, so that's why he looked kind of haggard and strong. And the companion regenerated him into a more idealized form, and so yeah,
What about you guys?
What happened? What you can do when you got an established canon, where you can figure the sign. Okay, we know how to work around this. When you got Discovery, it's like there's no working around this crap. You guys blew it.
What about you, Mr. Lundell? What do you think about the first contact with the Vulcans? Can you hear me? Well, what do you think, Mr. Lundell, about the first contact being the Vulcans and that storyline? And
what did I think about it? Well, we had to be discovered by somebody. I mean, I've never really put a lot of thought into that. That was always part of the lore. That the Vulcans were the first extraterrestrials we met. And so I just kind of went with it. Now, as in, if you want to talk about how, I guess, the tension in Enterprise between humans and Vulcans, okay, Vulcans are a-holes, but other than, I don't know.
I think it's interesting, for example, that I was going to say that I think it's interesting, for example, that we, the Vulcans kind of come across us about humanity, but because ambition, like with human ambition, and our because we're different than the Vulcans, we kind of end up with their help, we kind of end up catching up to them, and becoming this this pillar of the Federation. I thought that whole story was interesting.
I think I first saw the notion of Vulcans being the first ones in the Gold Key comic book. So the idea did date back quite a ways.
Is that where it first came from?
I think from somewhere, because they got it from somewhere, probably they made it up. But it had been around since like the 70s.
Herb says, "Seriously, Captain, you didn't like James Cromwell as Cromwell as Cochrane? You would rather have Clooney?"
Well, again, Clooney wasn't George Clooney. Even if he has been, I'm only saying because he'd have been affordable then. They'd have to pay him a hell of a lot now to do it. But the thing is, James Cromwell to me is always going to be Stretch Cunningham from All in the Family.
Really? Oh,
but you know what though?
Yeah.
But you know what, Captain? That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
You see Stretch Cunningham, but he has a degree in advanced physics, and he builds a spaceship that'll travel faster than light.
Well, there's also that he'd been in I don't know how many different roles at that point, between Next Gen and DS9 and Voyager. They'd already used him over and over again. And this isn't like the attitude of Berman saying nobody's gonna care that doesn't look like it. Do you know Star Trek fans, Rick? Come on, you've been doing this long enough. You should know better. You're going to get called out on it. Second time with these,
They couldn't get the actor that played Cochrane in TOS now.
Well, he was dead. That's the thing. Yeah,
probably
he was already dead by then.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. George Clooney. They were talking about Tom Hanks for a while, which was because he's a big fanboy himself.
Ooh, that would have been good.
But I think then it would have been a Tom Hanks movie.
Would have cost too much.
It would have been a Tom Hanks movie by that point.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, George Clooney. He looked enough like Glenn Corbett at the time. He wasn't big time George Clooney megastar at that point. He was just George Clooney, the guy from ER. So.
And from Roseanne.
Yeah, and then bit parts on various sitcoms through the years. Yeah.
But I could see Hanks just because the comedy he could bring to the role.
It would have been interesting, and then would have been a bit of a draw too. But
Yeah.
I think he may have been tied up with something like maybe Forrest Gump or whatever.
I like Cochran as Zephyr. I like Cromwell as Cochran.
Yeah. Yeah, he kind of,
Me
you can see
personally.
him, as, a drunk physicist. He kind of looks the part.
If they had used Hanks or Clooney, they probably never could have got him to come back for Enterprise for the Dark Mirror
Oh yeah.
episode.
Maybe.
I mean, but that's hindsight.
Well, actually, they didn't.
About that.
They didn't use him back. That was all. There was stock footage from the movie, but the scene where it's like where he's blown away the Vulcan with a shotgun, that was a stand-in.
Ah.
You never saw his face. You saw a hand go into the jacket, pull out a gun, and then everything else from behind. So no, they didn't get him back for that. They got him back for the pilot to do a little inspiration.
Right.
From this site, a new engine will be built.
What? I was just looking up a picture of Cromwell, and I came across the Zephram Cochrane in an episode of TOS.
Yeah, Metamorphosis. That's where they first showed him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember that. Okay.
Thing is Zephram Cochrane of Alpha Centauri, the creator of the discoverer of the space warp.
What is that episode?
For 150 years.
What was that episode about, Captain?
Well, briefly.
The TOS episode? Yeah, what was that about?
Kirk, Spock, and McCoy are traveling back to the Enterprise in shuttlecraft with a Federation ambassador who has come down with a rather serious but treatable, disease. So they're on the way to rendezvous with the Enterprise, get it treated so she can get back to I think it was Epsilon Canaris 3 to try and stop a war. And they get grabbed by this energy cloud type thing, dragged to a planet where they meet this guy who's just out in the middle of nowhere who shouldn't be. And then eventually it comes out that, all it says his name is Cochrane. And they mention he looks familiar. And then first name, Zephram. Zephram Cochrane, the creator of the space warp. It's like, whoa, And then you get the whole thing about, he was 87 years old when he went out and he wanted to die in space. And then he was found by this, energy cloud being brought back and rejuvenated.
Oh, it's time to do a rewatch of TOS for me.
Same here.
No, we're just going, because I got the Roddenberry Vault on Blu-ray. We're going through that. And there's some deleted stuff on that when they go through.
Wasn't that the episode with
Eleanor Donahue.
Yeah. Thought so.
Which makes two Father Knows Best guest stars.
Who was the other?
Jane Wyatt, Amanda.
Oh, okay, yeah. Duh.
It's just a matter. It's just a little too soon, because he was doing stuff on Voyager. I think they even put him on Enterprise at some point. So okay, come on, either make him regular or just get over.
He was he was on TNG. What was he on? He was on Voyager too. Cromwell was on Voyager.
I think he was.
He's an alien.
Make his IMDb here.
Yeah.
He was an alien,
And
right?
TNG and in Voyager, they put him in a lot of latex.
And there we are. Let's dig up his Star Trek credits. Gotta go back a ways. Oh, when he showed up on 24, that should have gone to the Donald Sutherland thing. He was playing playing Bauer's dad. No, get Kiefer. You get Donald. They want to work together anyway. Come on. Okay. So they got the appearance as Zephram Cochrane in Enterprise. They're in the pilot. And then going back here, we got First Contact. Then he played a part. He was on DS9, and
I remember him in MASH.
and he did a two-parter in. He was on 3 episodes of Next Gen. One of them was a two-parter. Then the first one it was just him in a funny outfit, and then the next one he was on a bunch of latex. So he did a total of 3 Next Gens, a DS9, and then First Contact, and then
So he didn't do Voyager.
But it just seemed to be all over the place. Just come on, enough already.
I think
He's
he
got a very
did do a
distinctive voice.
Voyager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm sure if they could have figured out a way, they would have, because Rick Berman liked bringing in Jamie Cromwell.
Yeah. Do you guys ever think we'll see Berman involved in Star Trek again? What do you guys think?
Well, the man's up in his 70s now. He's kind of like he's retired by now, and the way Les Moonves treated him, because they tried to get him to bring back Star Trek sooner, and he just blew him off completely. So, okay, fine, screw you. I've got my money. Bye.
Come back.
Now, if you could coax Ron Moore back, because he's the hardcore fanboy.
Yeah. We got new BSG coming, right?
They treated Ron Moore like crap.
That's a tale that goes on Ron Moore. Well, a lot of it was just, a little bit telling tales out of school, but it's like, I think when they brought Ron Moore into Voyager, Braga felt a little threatened, and it was getting on the verge of trying to set him up for a major fault, and he got out before anything really got hurt. But I think they've since buried the hatchet on that. And besides, Braga's on Orville now. He's apparently very happy there. So
yeah.
Oh, I think they love him there.
Oh yeah.
Well, we all love him.
That knows about Trek is over at Orville now.
Just about, yeah. They're showing this is how it's done, kid.
Trekkies love Orville.
And Braga has also, I think, paid enough penance that I've rescinded my call that he was the Antichrist. Because one of my old AOL message posts got quoted in Details magazine saying, "Yes, Brandon Braga is the Antichrist. I have pictures." But,
what? Okay.
Yeah, they actually call Brandon Braga the
Antichrist. I've rescinded that one. No, he's barely a minor demon now, but. No, I've passed on. Yeah, also I know a little better idea because there's been other interviews of where Braga was coming from because he was making think about. I haven't seen all the original episodes. What are you doing working on Star Trek? But it's like he was more of a Twilight Zone and Outer Limits guy, so he didn't watch a lot of it. Because coming from that perspective, Star Trek is a bit of a step down, But
we're glad he's on the Orville now.
Oh yeah,
I'm glad he's on the Orville.
Mm-hmm. But Ron Moore, part of Battlestar Galactica was kind of his way. Okay, you want to see how it's done? This is how it's done, guys. And that was a bit of a slapback. And okay, you want to do a Voyager type thing? Here's your thing.
So Ronald Moore has given the guys who want to do the new BSG. He's given them their blessing. Apparently, you've heard about that, right? I
hadn't heard it, but I don't know if it's more just like, well, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. So good luck.
Apparently, they're going to do it in the universe, like in the same universe. Who knows? Maybe it'll be another band of refugees. I don't know, but
probably. I don't know. I think that story's already been told. So.
Now, I wish they would do it during the first Cylon War. Caprica tried to do it, but I don't know what happened there.
They didn't have a budget.
Ratings weren't there.
Need to probably.
I think the ratings weren't there, and that was back when they couldn't really justify just spending money on a show that wasn't bringing the viewers in.
I was kind of bored with Caprica. What do you guys think about? What did you guys think about Caprica?
yeah, it was slow.
It was good world building, but but that does
I don't
take
think
time.
I got through it all.
Hmm.
No, right?
Yeah, they should have with the way they developed the AI over the course. That should have been like already there, and we had things happening. You know, it was just to me it was just too slow of a show, and you're trying to learn what happened, why did robots rebel in the first place, and they just it's like they were taking their sweet time telling us about this, that, and the other when they could have compressed a lot of that into maybe one episode or one act of one episode and got on with okay, now robots and people are killing each other. You know.
Well, I think it was also the period when Sci-Fi Network was getting a little impatient for big ratings. Because I think it was also around that time they also pulled the plug on Firefly, or no, not Firefly. Dang it,
All of the Stargate stuff.
well, the Stargate stuff,
That's
but
when they started dumping
also
the
Farscape.
Stargate stuff.
I knew it was them. Yeah. Well, and that's once they pulled it. They started doing stupid things with Stargate or Farscape, and I think that was a case of the German investors didn't quite understand the game of poker and pulled out, which brought the whole game, the whole house of cards coming down. In which case, you had the same reactions as the Star Trek fans in Fast Forward, where instead of like taking years to get back, it took a few months. I mean, I phoned up Sci-Fi Network myself a couple enough to message say, "Look, you guys have a potential Star Trek in your hands, and you're canceling. What are you doing? We're almost at the end, for Christ's sakes! Come on."
You would call them up?
I found the number and called up and left a message. Well, I think it was Barry Diller's, message machine, or whoever the office was, but that you rethink this. And we got Peacekeeper Wars out of it, so they.
Well, guys, I have been so we've been going for 3 hours, and I just want to say thank you. I was gonna wrap this up pretty soon. I want to say thanks for Mr. Lindell and Mando and Captain. We hadn't clicked together yet on in a panel. So, and Bird, thanks for coming. Any final thoughts, guys? In general, on anything we said?
I'm thinking if they, once we get rid of Kurtzman and Akiva Goldsman and the rest of those morons, and the contract expires and no one needs to talk to them ever again, I would like to see him do a fifth season of Enterprise. Just a limited run series, like 10 episodes, like just after the Romulan War. And right at the very founding.
Let's start with the Romulan War.
Well, maybe do something a little bit, but But I'm thinking also enough years have gone by. It's like enough years have gone by, and also totally invalidate. These are the voyages.
I'd love to see
alive and well and at a station.
I'd love to see another 3 seasons of Enterprise.
Yeah. Well, a lot's going to be dependent on who's available. And Scott Bakula's brand is still very fat and happy over at NCIS New Orleans.
That's true.
But I think you could probably do a little 10-episode seasons there. Work around that.
You just find you another captain. Don't make it to Enterprise. I mean, there's I can't remember the name. Guy did a fan film in that part of the Trek universe.
Star Trek Horizon. Yeah.
And it's a pretty good. Yeah, that's a good fan film.
They got a very polite C&D order at the same time the Action Hour was being sued. They're just saying, don't pursue your sequel. Now, I think part of that was because their ship was the Discovery. Because they're following the king of naming the ships after struggles. Yeah. Because their ship was the Discovery. Yeah. Because they started Enterprise, Columbia. Next one's going to be would have been Challenger.
Bird, what about you? Do you want to see more? You want to see another couple episodes, another couple seasons of Enterprise?
I would, but I don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
I'd just say that I am looking forward to Orville third season, and if it's going to be delayed, I'd hope they could maybe get us one episode out as a teaser or something.
I'm with you on that one. Just want to see more Orville.
Yeah, it has really been a while. I mean, I don't know. I wonder behind the scenes what that was like, because they probably saw the whole. I mean, they probably knew that was coming with Disney buying Fox, and they probably saw that coming. They probably had to, reposition themselves for the future. So, and I wonder how this whole NBC Universal thing that Seth signed. I mean, well, I wonder how that affects the future too. But
He probably gets more control over Orville.
I would agree with that. I would tend to agree that Seth, whatever deal Seth is making, he's protecting the Orville. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From what I hear, he really knows how much fans like it. So
you watch that fan film. He's been waiting his entire life to do this.
Yeah. Oh, you should see a lot of people. You should see a lot of people were worried about so much stuff. Like they were saying, but even the rumors was Seth buying Star Trek. Oh, what if Seth buys Star Trek, then he won't be part of the Orville anymore, and I don't know. That's not going to happen.
I think even if he did, he wouldn't. I don't think he presumed to cast himself as a captain unless he'd made, the very special episode where John Delancey guest stars on Orville and they snapped his fingers, and then suddenly everyone's in Starfleet uniforms, and the Orville has nacelles instead of loops, and it's now Star Trek Orville.
Now look, if that were true and he ended up buying the Trek properties, okay, he's got all the people that know Trek. All he's got to do is delegate authority. He doesn't have to, he can say, well, I'm going to play with this season of the Orville. So Berman, do a Trek show. Akuda, help him out. I need the rest of y'all over here with me. That would be probably high heaven for him.
Yeah, and actually, I think he would. I think somehow he would. And there would be some crossover episodes where just the Planetary Union is an alternate universe of the Federation.
I've been saying for a while now that it would be very easy to turn Orville into a Star Trek show. You wouldn't have to change really much of anything except the uniforms, some of the props, and the nomenclature. And the biggest change would be the appearance of the Orville itself. The interiors are fine. It's just the exterior, to put more of a secondary hull into the cells.
You can count the interiors to be, it's 100 years later, like they did with TOS to TNG.
Well, the timeline is such it's early 25th century, so it's just about 20-some years after First Contact. The period where Picard's supposed to be taking place. It's also the same period when Orville.
The third person asked, I don't know what crashed Pegasus refers to. Is he referring to the USS Pegasus in TNG? That was experimental.
Yeah, I was.
That'd be the Battlestar Pegasus.
Oh. But yeah, no, they can easily turn the Orville into a Star Trek show.
Mm-hmm.
But as of now, I kind of just want it to continue as the Orville. It's such a good thing on its own.
Nothing. Grand scheme of things, if Seth does get control of Star Trek, probably the closest you're really to that is that mirror universe show where instead of the evil counterparts, it'd be the Orville's in the Star Trek universe. That would be their mirror universe. Would be Star Trek.
All right, guys. Before we sign off, I'm just going to show. Hold on. Let me see if this is the right thing. Oh, I don't think I can find it.
No, in the Pegasus, they're talking about the Living Legend. That was the original series of Galactica. I don't know what happened to Pegasus and the new Galactica. I didn't watch that much Galactica.
In the Berman show, Apollo ended up commanding the Pegasus, and they had to use it to ram into a base star so everybody could get away.
That's true. That's true.
it was a real dumb ending for it.
You would have a split fandom, says Louise. You need to star a new series in the future, not connect to Orville. Well, guys,
have a split fandom right now.
It's scattered right now.
Guys, I'm just gonna show a teeny tiny little bit of some. So before we say goodnight, I wanted to show a little bit of some concept material for Orville fan film that we're doing.
Oh, is this a planetary step?
No, so a planetary step. By the way, yeah, I forgot to. We were going to bring that up before. Did you guys see a planetary step? It was on the other day. It was like, okay. Let me throw the link. Apparently, the guys who did it were friends with Aaron Eisenberg, with Nog. And let me just.
Yeah, they dedicated it to him and Odo.
Yeah, to him and Odo. Yeah. And so I'm going to put the link in here. Did you see it, Bird?
I did. I saw JP was in it. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, some people. By the way, some people thought it was going to be longer, but it is a fan film, guys. So whoever there's all kinds of.
When I hear film, I'm thinking film. Like I'm thinking an hour and a half.
Typically, fan
there are
films
short films that they
are at most, if you're lucky, an hour. So.
Yeah, there's less of an infrastructure for Orville fan films than there is for Star Trek fan films.
I mean, for what basically you have to understand what it is. It's one of the first fan films, if not the first Orville fan film.
Mm-hmm.
Not a huge budget, not a huge production, but it's a labor of love.
Exactly, it's a labor of love. Yeah. So, all right. So this is the link for that. So planetary step. And so what I'm going to show you guys, let me just finish this. What I'm going to show you guys is just a little concept art for, you've seen this, right, Bird? For the Orville Nation fan film?
I'm not sure. Doesn't look familiar yet.
Okay. So this is just a little concept art for an Orville Nation animation fan film for the Orville. So there is no sound to the. I don't have the right footage here, but I'm just going to play it. There's no sound to this, so. Why can't I get this one? One second. One second. Why can't I get this? All right, here we go. So this is some concept art for the. It's going to be a short fan film, about 20 minutes long for an Orville fan film.
Mm-hmm.
Nice shit.
Yeah.
And George Peter Gatsis, who you guys all know. Well, I think you guys all know. George Peter Gatsis is heading the animation. So anyway, so there will be a lot more of that coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thanks a lot for hanging out, guys. It was just nice to hang out at a day after Easter on a Monday night, on a mellow Monday night in confinement. So I want to thank you guys again, and Mr. Lindell, it was nice to connect, and Captain Robert, it was nice to connect, and Mando, likewise.
Anytime, man. It was great.
Not a problem. Yeah.
And Bird, thanks for jumping in. You are always fun.
Thank you.
You guys, and thanks for Steph, Ben Bird, Robert, Louise, LDG, Herb, Adega, Stephen Rest, everybody who's been in here, Chief Cook, everybody who's been in here. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Everybody have a great night. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Night.
Bye.
Take care.